Does anyone need a Cthulhu thing?
And I don't know, but
Okay.
it is. It
Are
is
we
Sunday
live?
at 4
I'm gonna
p.m.
shut
We
up
are
now.
live.
Oh.
Hey, shut up.
Shut up.
Just
Are we
It
live?
is not 4 p.m. It's 3. 3, 3, 3.
Are we live?
because we are live.
But you said 4. It's 3.
That's an important distinction.
Except
It
that
is.
it isn't. Time is relative.
Time.
And it's 4 p.m. in my mind.
4 p.m. somewhere.
Honestly, like,
It
listen. If it mattered, and it doesn't,
But okay, but it is Sunday. It is time for Team X. I am your dungeon master, Brian Wiggins, and I have technological leprosy. So there, that explains the last 10 minutes of life. No, but this
Of
is
why we're late.
of
Well,
why
we're early,
late.
but we're late.
Even when we're early, we're late. It's just ridiculous. Anyway. Yeah, it is time for Team X, otherwise known as Team Xenagogue, which is an official franchise of Acquisitions Incorporated, based out of Pinedale with exclusive rights to the Chondalwood Region. So for those who were not able to make it to last week's game, we have made a few changes to the format of how the audience can interact and possibly redirect the game or influence the game.
Hey, hang on, Brian. You're clipping, your audio's clipping in the stream. It's okay in Zoom.
it's probably just
one
a
of the-
Twitch thing.
No,
it's clipping for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Damn it. Hang on. Of course,
Now I can hear it.
Oh my god!
I don't hear any clipping, but that's me, I guess.
One second here. There we go. Hopefully that's better because my whole system is shit. So let us go play Dungeons and Dragons
Rage
now.
quit.
I'm so fucking happy with my computer right now. When we're done, I'm gonna light it on fire. But anyways,
Yeah, I think that fixed it.
Dungeons and
Wait.
Dragons.
Always
Well,
threaten the computer.
Why do I still hear it?
I don't hear.
Because you're delayed.
I
Because
think
I
maybe
don't hear
somebody is lying.
No.
Now?
No, I see JD just said it's all better. So I'm just gonna go ahead and destroy this computer.
If JD
later.
says it's fine, then we don't need to worry about it.
Anyway, Team X, Xenagogue, Acquisitions Incorporated, Chondalwood, Pinedale. Introduce
Go.
yourselves. Go.
Jesus fuck.
I'm having a day.
I'm Cluz playing a very scared I'm gonna die Dread my Gem Weaver.
Oh, that's right. Y'all are in melee.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I remembered that this morning.
Yeah. Y'all are getting killed.
Yeah. So if I die, y'all
It's your
better
own
resurrect
goddamn
me.
fault. No, fuck you. That's expensive, and I hate you.
I know.
Oh no. Okay. Blind cleric doesn't hate clues. Hugon hates Drenmai. That's a very important distinction.
Drenmai is totally worth a giant diamond and
No, you're not worth jack or shit.
Hashtag positivity.
Oh no. We love hate each other.
Happy
we love to hate
Happy
each other.
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
In like a week and a half.
Okay, next. I don't remember who's next.
That's me. Hi, I'm Mike Go. I play Thunuk Channel Trunk, the Nature Domain Cleric, who is currently rolling death saves.
Yeah, that's right.
Again.
That was funny. You did get to do a shotgun guiding bolt, though. That was pretty.
That
cool.
was neat. Thank
was
you for that, Brian. I'm liking the fact that I'm getting to use the theme a little bit more in a yeah.
Pew 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 pew.
I just imagine like a cloud of angry gnats.
Except at this point, like given how angry
Laser
Thunuk
gnats.
is, like I'm picturing like hornets, like very angry hornets.
Lethal.
Hornets with an eternal hate.
Horseflies.
You
They're
say
all
that.
horseflies.
It just so happens that when he leveled up, he got the insect plague spell.
Oh god.
Because of the Nature
Hallelujah!
Domain thing.
Praise the four.
So
It's gonna get mummy up in here.
moving along.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
Okay, cool. I am the only one not in combat right now. I am Hugon Valander, human fighter,
Mm-hmm.
and like I have sort of been out of boulder range, assessing the situation because I don't want to get hit by boulders, and also I have no way to get to these giants quickly without being killed. So yeah, here we are.
Boulders everywhere.
And then some fucking giant shaman came out of a wall and was like, "Why are you attacking us?" And then we're like, "You're a piece of shit because you started it."
then I went, and then he went.
And now he's gonna die. So I hope they've got another shaman on like
Moving
on the bench because he's gonna die.
moving along.
Some of that didn't actually happen. I am Eno, and I am
only
a
a small portion.
tiefling bard, and I am in a impervious dome. Happy as can be with my friend Alexi. Everything's fine.
Good.
I'm only down like 11 hit points.
You're having a
It's
pretty
gonna
good
be
day. You're having a pretty
Yeah.
good day. Starting off things pretty well.
Taunted a giant with a completely missed arrow. It's good.
I
Oh,
feel very
oh.
taunted right now.
So, well, that's well. Let's talk about the. Once again, let's talk about how the rules of engagement have changed with our audience.
Slightly.
So yeah, as you can see, our players here have some have some numbers sitting underneath their avatars, their video captures there, and that is how many charges that they actually have for. Hi, oh, thank you. I'm getting soda and oh, cool.
Gifts,
Gifts. I'm gonna be better now.
noms, and cookies.
I think my wife.
Were
heard me
you
s-
were you hangry? Was that what it was?
There was
No,
some
no, because I
anger,
just
I
had
bet.
popcorn, but I think she heard me screaming at the computer, so it was just. Oh, she did. Okay.
I heard her say she did.
So.
I think that's the closest we've ever come to meeting wifey.
So, yeah. So you'll see these numbers sitting underneath their screens here, and that is how many charges they have. They can use these charges for various and sundry purposes. A single charge, if I remember correctly, is for using one of their minor powers, one of their minor role play powers. 2 charges will grant them advantage on a roll, or they can give that advantage to another player. 3 charges will force me, if they decide to use it, will force me to roll at disadvantage. And 4 charges will unleash their ultimate their ultimate power, which is very much above 5,000. Just saying. So their power is over 5,000. So
It basically increases our CR by 5.
it's something probably a lot more than that. I don't know. But they and the way that you can help them get more charges is if you become the new stream boss, it will get them 2 new charges. And if you also give bits, it also forces me to use my Dark Inspiration. For every time that they use one of their charges, I get Dark Inspiration. And that can be used to affect the gameplay, how the plot or battle or whatever unfolds. And then every time I use my Dark Inspiration, that will recharge them as well. And it just ends up in this endless cycle of assault and battery in a role-playing context. Because that's kind of what we do. So, that is that. When we last left our protagonists, they had shown up to... they used the Shadow Gate to arrive at the Marith Watch in an effort to rescue Thunuk's family, who had apparently been taken captive by some stone giants some decades ago. And they found themselves in a blasted landscape. The visual reference is the Tunguska event in Siberia, with just trees and grass and plants just blasted flat against the ground, with an epicenter somewhere at the base of the Marith Watch, which was discovered to be some kind of ritual-looking area at the base of the mountain range. And started patching some things together with their various observations, and Team X has determined that, something big happened here several decades ago. Something powerful was summoned. Something that has some... And we get the clues flex there. She's just... The beach is that way. So the...
No, I had to do a lot of work and I'm really sore.
She was like, yeah, something powerful showed up.
Oh, I'm strong.
I'm so ready. I'm like this tall.
Getting your ass kicked.
Yeah. But something powerful possibly of the Shadowfell had arrived, and clues, or not clues, but Drenmai had sent Razi out on a scouting expedition, doing some aerial reconnaissance, and the signal went dead, which resulted in Drenmai running.
In a rare
Panic.
fit of both possessive and like strangely narcissistic care, she ran off to do battle with a bunch of giants.
Well, she didn't know it was giants. She just knew that something happened to Razi, and I'm going to go get her. Ding, 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 ding. We had the worst grapple in the world to try to get her to stop. That didn't work. Boulders started being chucked at them because that's what giants do. They're very good at it. They continued to go in an effort to try to dissuade them from throwing boulders. Eno shot an errant arrow in their direction. The giants were all like, "Oh, so it's on," and really started throwing for real.
That's a really good tavern name. The Errant Arrow.
The Errant Arrow. I'm writing that down.
That's a good tavern name.
Errant Arrow. Boulders were thrown for real. Drenmai was able to make it to Razi. Took a little bit of shrapnel damage. Thunuk caught 2 of them in the chest. One of them essentially at point blank range. Which leads us to where we are just about now. Let us get your first death save roll. Mr. Gentle Trunk.
Thunuk's been having a bad day.
I should probably not be so impulsive with him, but that is very Thunuk.
I mean, don't be so impulsive if you're not going to wear armor or, have a lot of hit points.
Oh, that's with armor.
That's with armor? Get some better goddamn armor down.
Or maybe don't get hit by a giant boulder hurled by a stone giant.
You'd think how frequently I have to roll death saves for him. I'd remember how these work.
Is it more than 10 or less than 10?
More.
Then you made your first death save.
Okay.
That is the first one. So we're there. Hugon.
Yes.
So you've been seeing this happen.
Yes. From a safe distance.
From a safe distance. You were able to move, you figured out, you were able to kind of range it exactly to where the safe area was.
Mm-hmm.
Where you would no longer be in range of said giants, of said improvised artillery, and you still have eagle eye on your obviator, on your obviator lenses, on your obviator goggles.
I do.
And we established before that this is kind of like it's kind of like a, not a monocle, but it's like a hold up kind of like. Is that what we said it was?
I think I described it as like a headlamp with goggles that had like the sort of jeweler like zoom function.
Oh, okay. So we have, so you could still be hands free. You could have, and so you're able to see Drenmai come to a sliding halt in front of Razi. Quick check, and I think she tossed some things at giants. She
tried to lightning bolt them, if I recall.
Oh, she did, and she did.
She did like 70 points of damage
on one of them. Well, it was like one like got out of the way, and it went and hit the other one like square like in the face.
Yeah.
In this face area.
Yeah, in the face,
he wasn't happy.
Face, neck, and chest region.
Sounds suspicious to like you hit him with evil Vicks.
Ew. No.
That's a whole other thing.
That's a strange image. I don't like it.
No. It's a specific kind of ooze.
Yeah.
You saw Thunuk throw up his guided bolts.
Yes, I did.
Well,
I did
from here, it was more like you saw like the little flashes of as they,
and then I saw him be slain. No.
But then you saw a boulder come hurling down, and you have noticed that one of these giants is terrible at throwing things.
He is.
You're pretty sure that from the distance you could almost hear some laughter from the other giants at how inept he was at throwing boulders, because whether the characters know or not, giants are renowned for their boulder throwing abilities. And when you can't meet that cultural norm, things happen.
I mean, listen, not everybody can be good at throwing a boulders, but you at least have to be
competent,
bare minimum of competent.
and he's
And if
not.
this guy can't even manage that, he's a failure of a
But
giant.
one of them you saw
Mhm.
was very competent at throwing boulders.
It's true.
And now, granted, he was throwing at the largest target out there. Let's be honest. It wasn't like he was
Sure.
trying to hit Dren. He was hitting our friend-shaped capybara boy. You know, and you saw him get drilled once. And the first time you might have been a little impressed because he kind of like took it, ate it, and just kept on going. You know? And that would have stopped. That would have killed. That would have
Probably anybody short of a fear bowl.
Anybody less than a certain level would have been slain immediately. A commoner, they're just paste.
Splat, paste.
But
Raspberry
then you
jam
saw
on the ground.
you did see the second one take him, and he just crumpled, just like down. You did see Eno throw up some kind of and what do we did we ever describe what this shelter looked like?
Oh yeah, it was red, so that they would see.
Oh,
and
that's right, as a
throw
target.
boulders at me. Yeah.
So bright. You see Eno throw up this bright red
Agrodome.
Yeah, and you saw one boulder go through it, but you're unaware as to whether anything has happened. In there. But give me a perception check with advantage because you are using your obviator.
Okay, so that's a really good roll in the first one. Let's see what happens in the second roll. Not as good. So it's 19. Yes, 19.
A 19. So you have been able to spot very clearly, we said before, the three giants that are up on this ledge that were hurling the boulders. And you see this tall, lanky, shaman-looking one. And I think his garb would kind of imply that from this distance. You're not able to get a lot of detail. I mean, but it's very much very creepypasta tall man. Is that what it is? The
Slender Man.
Slender Man type.
Slender Man.
Yeah, where just like
he's slender and also a man.
Enderman, but a little bit like the proportions are just ever so off. Like not disturbingly so, but it just looks like very, very thin. And maybe this is just how giants are actually built, but when
sort of like stretched in Photoshop a little bit.
A
just
little
like
bit.
A little.
Yeah.
Like the aspect ratio is off.
Yeah, and like the joints are a little knobbier, but again, maybe it's just because giants are usually very much muscle bound, and there's usually a protective layer of fat there as well. That's just sort of like the norm for the body type. And this one looks.
And they don't call them stone giants because they're like frail, you know.
No.
Stone giants, they're swole.
Yeah, they are a little bit, but not this guy.
Not this.
But you see him come out carrying this very large staff, and he's and you can see he appears to be engaging in some kind of conversation, but you are also able to see other. It looks like you're starting to see from other crevices within the mountain. You're starting to see other stone giants appear. Now they are usually very difficult to see because they are almost exactly the same color as the stone of the mountain.
Right. Right.
But you are able to see, and I don't even think it requires an obviator check at this point for you to look at this and say, this is an overwhelming force that you guys are
They
currently...
came to party.
They came to party, and you forgot your party hats. You didn't bring you did not bring
We weren't in party mode.
No, you did not bring like
we were in
wine.
Gathering mode.
You did not bring like wine to say, "Hey, I brought you this nice bottle of wine." You did not,
This is like showing up at like a small gathering and finding out like there's like 50 people there, and it's like.
But not just that. Like you showed up thinking it's just like, "Hey, cool, we're gonna chill," and no, everyone's wearing suits.
Everyone's wearing suits. Everybody's really drunk. There's
it's a fancy party. It's dude, this is like a fancy
it's time
party.
To fucking rock.
Yeah, but you are not prepared.
We're not prepared.
Not prepared for this. So that's kind of where you are in all of this. And Thunuk's sister has remained back with you. She did not go charging in. with all of this. So it's basically you, Buck is hanging out with you, right?
Yeah.
So you're hanging out there, and you hear from behind you, like a little bit of a rustle, and you hear a, psst, Lottie, over here.
Hugon will probably turn around
Mm-hmm.
to see what that is and if it needs killed.
And behind you, you see like the most swole halfling you have ever seen. Like
Okay.
bald, shaved head.
Okay.
It looks like it might be, you're not sure if it's like just mud that's been smeared on almost like war paint.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some tattoos under there you can't quite see because this is pretty good camouflage. But dressed pretty much like in rags, but just this is and surprisingly for this halfling, big thick beard, which is odd for it.
It's like a half dwarf.
Yeah, but it's just
like a really itty bitty dwarf. Like small dwarf. You've got something to say?
he's like the tall one there. Was that me brother? Was that Thunuk?
Probably. Thunuk is giant kin. I can't help but notice that you are not.
Family's more than blood, boy.
Well, that's what I'm trying to determine.
Yeah.
Like, because now Thunuk's family is coming out of the woodwork. We've got this woman. He points
And he quick turns around. He points up. And he's, sister, you made it. It worked.
God. Fuck.
And she comes
I love
scrambling
that you're
over.
the one that's dealing with the family reunion right now.
And she comes scrambling over, and she just hoists him up in this big giant bear hug. And there's some chittering back and forth and giant, and you can't really understand it. And she puts him down, and she goes, "Looks like your friends went running in. They probably
Yeah, well, they're
shouldn't
pretty
have."
stupid.
Aye, that was not a smart move.
No, it wasn't.
You're a little exposed out here. I think I could do. If you follow me, I know a different way.
Well, I mean, I only care about two of them, so I guess take your time. I imagine you want to go to your brother first. The guy, the red dome over there is probably all right.
I don't know, maybe. It's like
Probably.
they're probably gonna take him in, and we won't be able to go in through the front door. But I know where the back door is.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. It can be, but not in this context.
No, I'm talking about getting to kill some giants.
Oh,
That
aye,
sounds real fun.
that is a lot of fun. But you gotta do it right. You gotta be sneaky with it.
I'm not very good at being sneaky.
Oh, no, you'll be fine.
Okay, well.
It'll be fine.
Hugon will get on his radio and like, hey, Thunuk, I don't know if you're conscious, but for the rest of you, apparently, Thunuk has more siblings. And there's like one here. And you should let yourselves be captured.
And as we go over to the scene that we have in front of us with all the giants and everything, and the tall shamanistic looking giant looks down at Thunuk's unconscious or currently decimated body and hears the signal coming through and says, we do not look to capture you, only to make you our guests.
He didn't hit the button, so I imagine Hugon didn't hear that.
No,
bit.
because he's unconscious. Or
Yeah.
He's whatever. He's in that hovering in that state between life and death.
Right.
Fun place.
Are we
Unconscious. Yeah.
are we out of initiative now, or
unless you really want to start going back into battle with an overwhelming force of giants with pretty much only Drenmai in range.
They started it.
And Thunuk down for the count at the moment.
How far away is Thunuk from my dome situation?
I'm trying to remember where you were. You didn't advance? You were close enough to attack with an arrow.
Yeah, I was like 360.
So you were on the edge of your range.
If we're looking at the C of this hypotenuse, he was about 315 feet away.
So,
yeah.
And what's if I pick up what you're laying
shooting
down,
up.
Yeah, if I'm picking up what you're laying down, you're gonna try to cast some kind of healing spell on him. Maybe. What is the range on that healing spell?
Well, I mean, there's more than I wanted to do, but if he's within.
I'm just trying to get an idea because I don't remember I don't remember Eno advancing very far into the range.
Well, I was running after Dren.
Yeah.
And then we had the failed grapple, and then she took off.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how far behind Thunuk was from Thunuk wasn't running at first, right? And then you started running. Is that what I remembering?
He was basically just booking it.
Okay, so I don't know if you're ahead of me or behind me.
Oh, he's ahead of you. He's up. Yeah, he's way ahead.
Oh,
he was able to go and pretty much catch Dren, but then he caught a boulder instead. Catching Dren apparently was a real issue last week.
I want to say Dren only had like maybe 1 or 2 rounds to run.
Yeah.
After the failed grapple, but
so I could say that you're probably
at least 100 feet ahead.
Yeah, I'd say probably about 100 feet or so. This is what happens when we don't play strictly tactical games.
All right,
but this is also why we fudge the numbers a little bit.
here's what Eno does.
Okay.
Like he hears this message and he's like, and he sees Thunuk down, and he goes, Alexi, I'm gonna do something kind of stupid. You might want to run the other way. As soon as I exit this thing, it's gonna go. Okay?
All right, so you're gonna make it disappear, and I'm gonna run with you over to there.
Sure.
Right, got it.
Right on 3.
Wait. 1, 2, 3, then go, or go on 3?
Go on 3.
Go on 3. So 1, 2, go.
Yeah.
Got it.
Ready?
Right.
1, 2.
Hold on, wait. Which way? We're running this way, or are we
towards the big guy on the ground? Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna go as fast as I can.
Fast as you can.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. Eno takes off.
Mm-hmm.
The dome disappears.
Blink.
I'm gonna use my action to dash.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna cast Healing Word. That should put me within like 30 feet or so of Thunuk.
Okay.
So I'm gonna cast Healing Word on Thunuk.
Mm-hmm.
Better make it worthwhile. We'll cast it at the 4th level.
Oh, bringing out the hot magics.
Oh my goodness.
I approve. I approve.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, jeez! Jesus, man, Joseph.
That's 12 points of healing.
It's better than 0 points of healing.
Yeah, it's better than no points of healing.
Yeah,
That gives you 12 hit points.
Every point of hit points that you receive from another is a gift that you will be grateful for.
Say thank you and you'll like it.
I'm conscious. Yay!
Yay, conscious.
Listen, this cleric doesn't fool around with people being ungrateful for being alive. I don't play that way.
So as you do that, you're running in. Thunuk, it's like this sudden rush of air back into your lungs as your heart like lurches back into motion.
Like as he's casting, he's Thunuk. He just says, ah!
And it's like it's like this. you know that pain. Maybe you know that pain. That it's like in the summer and you've been swimming for too long and you come out, you try to take a deep breath and you kind of get that, and it's kind of like almost like a painful feeling like in your lungs. This is like a
I'm
seashore
deeply
thing.
asthmatic. I'm very familiar with that sensation.
Okay. So it's like that, but like times 10 as the air just rushes back and you feel like this huge weight being lifted off of your chest as your heart lurches back to beating. And you have like the migraine of all migraines at this point. Like the sun shining in your face is like the absolute worst thing you have ever encountered in your life. It's like as if you were shooting.
This is like
your
a hangover that hates you.
It's like it's almost as if you're shooting your own guided bolt into your eyeballs and allowing them to ricochet around inside your brain.
I'm personally familiar with the sensation.
Yes.
This is all familiar to me.
And I can only imagine that this is what it'd be like to come back to life after being killed by a boulder or back to whatever you
no,
were.
I want to keep dreaming. Make it go away.
This is terrible. No, just stop. So that's where we are with that. So again, you see all of this, Hugon, Drenmai.
Mhm.
So now you are standing, you can hear the yelling from Eno of Thunuk. Yeah, Thunuk is, does the Highlander thing of, coming back to life. He's not looking good. He is looking quite literally like death warmed over. And you're surrounded by these towering 18-foot tall stone giants, including the one in front of you that do a little perception check.
Percepticon.
So Slender Giant is over by John,
guys.
not Thunuk.
Well, you guys are kind of in the general vicinity.
Okay.
You're in a vicinity.
So we're both doing perception checks. We're both
if you
doing
want to.
perception
Well,
checks.
yeah, but I'm going to say that Thunux is at disadvantage at the moment just because.
Well, I wasn't sure who you were talking to for a moment there because of where he was located and what's going on.
I mean, if you would like to do one, but I'm going to say that Thunux would be at disadvantage because of the nature of having just returned to life. There's a lot happening.
If at the very least, just to figure out whether or not he's aware of the universe around him right now.
I'm full of pain and I don't like it.
It was a 6.
I
I have negative on perception. I'm not wise.
No, you
am
are.
not perceptive. And okay, so you have a
No.
6.
We
Thunuk,
knew this.
an 8. Yeah.
Hmm?
Those are not great numbers.
No.
8? What?
So, what'd you say?
10.
Oh, I thought you said 8.
No.
Well, 10 is better than 8, but
But not good enough.
only
It's
by
still
10.
10.
good.
It's, I mean, it's still like not much better, yeah.
So you, so we'll do, Thunuk, you are feeling like you had like, as you were reawakening, there was like a very loud rushing noise in your ears. So, okay, the only way I could describe this is because I've actually had this happen, is if you've ever actually come back from unconsciousness, during the moments that you are coming back to consciousness, it almost is like time is stretched, and it's like your filters are no longer working, and your ears are picking up every sound around you, and it's very overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And so as you're like waking up, you're breathing deep, you're feeling a little sick to your stomach as you're trying to like, calm everything down. The heart is pounding in your chest, and you can feel like you hear the pounding in your ears, but it's starting to come back down, and you're able to take in the scene around you, and you are aware of now this tall, slender man giant in front of you. You're starting to remember, what got you here.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably an odd, stray childhood memory that just comes flitting in that you hadn't thought about in years because, everything's rebooting.
Mm-hmm.
Drenmai, yeah, you're just kind of aware that this is not a great situation for you right now. Lots of very large creatures.
Everyone's large compared to me.
Yeah, but this is like double secret large.
Yeah.
you still have Rozzy. Rozzy's, hanging out with you. He's kind of sparking up a little bit. He's he took a rock.
I'm gonna be eyeballing the ones that I've done damage to, because
Mhm.
I probably got the message from Hugon, but
Mhm.
I'm still like, no, you were attacking me and I attacked you back. I'm expecting some kind of do not hit in the face is not gonna be happy. So
Well, fortunately, this is good for Hugon, because if you die, I don't have to kill you.
well, and Hugon said to let myself get captured.
I did say that. You're correct.
And I did not hear, because buttons were not pushed, about, oh, we just want to be your guest thing. So I have no idea about that.
No, that's what the giant said to you.
You said they said it's a Hugon or
No. So you got Thunuk.
Thunuk.
No. Thunuk is laying there, unconscious.
Mm.
And we're gonna rewind this a little bit. And Hugon makes the call, so it was heard by anyone who was in the vicinity.
Okay.
So the giant heard this, and that's when he had said, "No, we only wish for you to be our guests."
Then I'm gonna buck up to all of my like 3-foot height or whatever I am, or wait, I think I'm 4
all
foot
3
too.
feet of your bullshit.
Yeah, I think I'm just over 4 foot. So I'm 3 foot 3'4". I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. But I'm gonna buck up to my full little tiny ass height and be like, then why did you throw a boulder at my friend? That's not how we greet people where I come from, and I'm destructive. Smile.
And he says, "It appears we had a miscommunication.
Oh, I'd say so.
Always we saw those who might intend to invade our territory without permission.
I'm gonna do this. Like, does it look like I can invade?
You are here. You
Uh-huh.
are here uninvited.
At a point to like a butterfly or squirrel. I'd be like, is he invading? Because he's here and he exists?
There are no butterflies and no squirrels."
Damn, I forgot.
And so he looks around and he goes, "To what are you referring?"
I polymorph the leaf into a squirrel.
That thing, which I have
And
now given life.
the second it does, like an enormous boulder just like lands on it. Like,
I don't trust these people.
That's probably very wise.
but it looks as though it looks as though your friend could use some help. Please be our
Yeah.
guests. Allow us to help. Allow us to heal you.
What insurances do I get?
Assurances of what?
That you're not just gonna take us in and kill us all.
If we wanted you dead, you would be dead already.
You want to try?
We already did. Observe your friend.
I'm fine.
And Eno's back. Does Eno hear this
I would think at this
conversation?
point you're
30.
close enough, yeah, because
Yeah.
giants
I'm
do not.
being quiet.
And a giant's whisper, I think, is still even like
All right.
listening to like a bass sound check in an arena.
So you hear Eno go, "He doesn't look very dead to me."
we can fix that.
Take
Wait,
it
what?
by the way.
How scary is this guy, by the way, as far as Thunuk is concerned? Like at a 1 to 10. 1 being
Insight.
nah.
Insight
Okay.
check.
Insight.
Insight.
Insight in this guy.
Outsight. All around.
26.
How scary is he?
You got a 26? What the hell?
I have a plus 12.
Jesus.
He's very insightful.
He can insight the shit out
See,
of
whereas
things.
Dren is not.
He's very
wise.
high on wisdom.
Yeah, where
I'm
he
very low.
he is very wise, but not very smart. Dren is very smart, but not very.
I
Wise.
do have a decent amount of insight though. for whatever reason.
So describe to me, in Thunukian terms, what constitutes like the scary scale?
Referring back to the shadow monster that we encountered at the monastery,
Oh,
will
okay.
it eat me? Is fairly high up there,
Mhm.
but higher than that is, does it even care that it exists? Might it accidentally step on me and not even realize it?
Oh, okay. All right. I understand that. So, in general, there is a very healthy respect when around any giants. Generally, the higher up in the ordning they are, the the wariness changes, right? So like if you were around, and this is and the Fearbolg and this family unit, there's going to be contact with giants, and it's not always going to be unfriendly contact because they are giant kin, and giants, as you have grown up to know, is they do recognize giant kin as being relatives, distant cousins, as opposed to dwarves and elves and humans, which and other creatures which have like zero genetic bond to
their food.
Well, not necessarily food, but it's like all giants and giant kin are in some way, shape, or form of Anon, whereas all other sentient creatures are not. They're from other things, and because they're not of the All Father for all intents and purposes, it's like they're like lesser. And it's so like hill giants, there's a different kind of concern because they're clumsy, they're oafish, they're not very smart, and they have very, very short tempers, and it's very easy for them just to go nuts. And so it's you got the stone giants. There's always a wariness because big, not hard to kill, easy for them to kill other people, but you don't pick up menace off of this particular giant. The ones up there still kind of have your hackles raised, but that's probably because they hit you with a rock. The one in front of you, actually, why not at this point make a charisma saving throw?
Oh. Okay. Yeah. That was a 6.
Okay. You actually feel very, very friendly towards him. Like there's certain warmth that's radiating off of him that you feel.
Do I see him casting a spell?
No, you do not.
Okay.
You just but Thunuk, you feel like like this guy's pretty safe. You're getting the warm. You are in fact getting the warm fuzzies off of him.
Thunuk is going to say to Dren, he seems like he's being genuine. He seems nice.
I'm gonna think that he's been hit in the head too hard, and I want to do it again.
Well, he was hit in the torso. It was definitely a center mass shot.
It's Thunuk's a mass. It's all good for me. I still want to check him out, or I want to insight myself.
You want to insight your.
She wants to.
I want to see if he's being genuine. Or
Who?
Whoever's trying to tell me, yeah, it's fine.
Oh, you want to know? You want to know if
but...
Thunuk is being genuine when he says it's fine? Okay.
No. I know Thunuk's being genuine. I want to know if the giant is being genuine.
You want to know the giant being genuine? Okay. All right. So go ahead and this would be a insight to see if he's being.
I got 21.
21. And you're trying to see if, as far as like, you're not picking up any deception. It seems like he is, right now, his only motivation is to help Thunuk get some healing, and you're not picking up on. I'll say you're not picking up on immediate danger, other than the fact that Dren's probably always looking for danger.
I still don't trust him. Even if I'm not getting it, I'm still going to be like, I'll tell him I want some assurance that you're not going to do harm to me or my friends.
I mean, which makes sense given the sort of ingrained dislike of gnomes against giants.
And he
oh wait, no, I'm thinking halflings. Anyway, Dren's just aggro.
He looks down and regards you, and he like hunkers down as low to the ground as he can.
Oh,
And-
that's gonna make Dren so pissed.
And
That's like when the adult does that bend down to a child thing.
No. But he's not doing it like in a It's not a disrespectful manner. You
I know.
see...
No, this is Dren having a short person moment where it's like, I don't care if you're squatting down to be eye level with me, it'll still piss me off.
Yeah, that's what it is. He gets down, and you can see he has like these very deep sapphire eyes. And he gets down real low, and as he gets down lower, you can see, because he's got kind of like his he does like the squat where where he's got like his hands on his knees, the butt's almost like sitting on the ground, and he's got his hands draped over, and you can see that there's these odd like lumps and bumps all over his arm, and it almost looks like some of them are stone. And like there's one that's like not completely like accreted over, and it looks like it's got almost like a very small, for you it would be about the size of your fist, a sapphire that's very close to the color of his eyes, and you can see he like twists it and removes it from his skin, it looks like.
Ew.
and it's like, but there's no like blood or gore that comes out. It's more just like dirt and stone and dust, and he like cleans it off a little bit,
Strange and do not like.
and he says, "This is one of my most treasured possessions. I
Ew.
would give this to you to safeguard, as a means of showing that I mean you no harm."
I want to do an Arcana check.
Okay, do an Arcana
Do an Arcana check. I want to ask him, why does a rock, and this coming from someone who loves shiny shit, why does a rock matter so much to you?
You can't just ask why people like rocks, Dren.
I know. Because I have something else in mind.
He says, "It belonged to someone very dear to me, and it reminds me of them."
I'm going to ask him if any of the other giants that are around are his relative, or if they're all just relatives, I guess. But I'll ask him.
We are all...
Who out of this group do you care most about?
Ugh.
Wow. Wow.
Dren's too old to really give a shit.
Yeah,
so.
he says, "I care for all living beings equally."
I just killed my fucking squirrel. Okay, then I'm gonna point
The
at...
squirrel that was not even alive long enough to know that it was a squirrel.
What was your
Of having
Arcana
been
roll?
a leaf and now am squirrel.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and do the Arcana check, and then I'll do my bit.
I rolled a 2.
Oh, okay, never mind.
What were just out of
So-
curiosity, what is it that you were like trying to figure out?
I'm trying to determine, because all of a sudden Thunuk is just totally fine with this strange giant
Mm-hmm.
thing, and it just seems weird because like he was just like unconscious and like almost dead.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like and now and like I don't know. I think maybe picked up on that this guy was talking to him like all soft and cool and calm and stuff. And now all of a sudden Thunuk's like, "Oh yeah, this guy's fine." And like even though didn't see any spell or anything, he's kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
something's up.
And how close is Eno?
I think he's about 30 feet away.
I think Eno needs to make a charisma saving throw as well.
Really?
I think he does.
If Eno thinks a spell is being cast on him, he's gonna do counterspell.
You sense no spell.
All right. I mean, I'm trying to figure out if I can use counter charm too, but I don't know.
Is counter charm automatic?
It's an action.
Okay.
So, all right.
I mean, realistically, you could just say, I counter charm.
Well, it's a 13.
You feel an odd sensation wash over you, and it feels like it's just about to start to take root in your mind. But then it washes away. Like when you walk into a room and you know that you are walking in to do something, but the second you do, that memory or that intent is just washed away and you can't remember. Like, I know I walked into this room for a reason. Why did I do that? And it has that sensation as this warmth kind of washes over you and then away. And then you feel exactly the same as you did before.
Eno starts playing counter charm.
And how does that work?
So I take out my lute and I go, oh, yeah. You know, I wrote a song once about something similar that's happening right now. And it goes a little something like this.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you,
like
eat
this.
shit.
You're not gonna touch my friends.
I detect your bullshit.
He starts playing his lute and he goes, the rabbit runs up the hill and down across the mossy fen. It runs around until it's time to rest its head again. Whatever the clever rabbit dreams, nothing's really as it seems. Along the way, it's time to play a game where we pretend. And he just keeps playing this song over and over again.
Oh, wow.
So what that means is that me and any friendly creatures within 30 feet that can hear me gain
Okay.
advantage on saving throws against being frightened or charmed.
Okay. Thunuk, go ahead and roll that save again with advantage.
I don't like scrunchy faces. Bad.
Well, the first roll was great compared to the second roll.
Well,
But
you
it
have
was still a
advantage.
5 plus 4.
Oh. Compared.
So,
comparatively
9.
speaking.
Compared, yeah, the second roll was a natural 1.
Oh. Well, we'll throw out the natural 1. We'll pretend like that didn't happen. Yeah, you just have a very warm feeling towards this person.
I was about to say, you have one less than last time. So
like it's
not much
you
change.
feel like
It's like a grandpa energy.
well, grandpa, more like grandpa, or like a friend of a friend who you've met before, and you remember you had some drinks together, and it was like, oh yeah, we had a good time. I remember hanging out with them before, and this slender giant says, but please, my friends, I must insist that you please join me.
We're not going to join you. Sorry.
It seems perfectly safe.
No,
But
I'm going
not
to
safe.
he's very nice.
No, not nice.
No,
I'm gonna-
Thunuk, no.
Not
Bad.
nice.
Take
Not
that out of
safe.
your mouth.
Drop it.
Spit it out. Spit it out.
Be
Spit
like,
it
well,
out right. What do you have in your mouth?
I'm gonna look. Well, then I'll turn around and I'll look and be like, well, why do we need to go with them?
Oh, you're Rocky talking.
I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Well,
Is this like loud, or is it like? Are you
Oh, no, I have no filter. So I just turn around and look at my friends like, why do we need to go with them? Can't we just continue on?
Well, it's just
You are
it's their
here
place,
for-
and they're
you are
being
here
very
to
nice
see
to
your
us.
kin, are you not?
yeah.
I
So,
can
we're
see
here.
them.
For Thunuk. Be like,
Yeah,
okay.
we're-
Be like, so I'll take the gem and I'm gonna put it in my pocket. I'd be like, and I want him, and I'm gonna point to one of the other giants.
You gonna put him in your pocket too?
I'm gonna wait for his thing. Like, he's mine until we leave this land safely.
He can certainly be with you to protect you, if you
So
feel
you agree?
if you feel you need protection.
And then I'm gonna look at the giant and I'd be like, so you agree?
Which giant were you pointing to?
Let's go with the one that I didn't damage.
So, of the two that you hit with lightning, you're going to go with the one that was not hit with lightning.
Yes.
Okay. And the slender giant has now stood back up to full height. And as he stands up, it's almost like the sound in the knees. It's almost like rocks grinding against each other.
Should see a chiropractor about that.
And he like looks up, and there's like this nod, some kind of unspoken signal. And that one, he basically leaps down from the ledge that he's on and lands.
I bounce up in the air.
Everyone make a dexterity save.
Dex save.
I like how Drin is trying to take hostages from someone who is 7 times her size.
I rolled a 21.
Okay.
14.
14. Thunuk.
12.
12. So the three of you are fine. It feels like an earthquake when this giant lands.
Oh, I imagine it's like that cartoon scenario. He jumps, my little body just goes whoop, whoop.
You definitely are shaken, and there's you're able to keep your balance, but because you're used to probably standing on some of the things you've built right before they explode, and there's probably or when there's like a gear or a cog that's out of balance, and you're fine. You're able to keep your balance. Thunuk, you're fine. You're already kind of like sitting on the ground. You're all right. From the distance you're at, Hugon, it feels like an aftershock. You see this giant leap down, and you hear it, and it's like that. It's that delay, right? You see it, and then it's like a few seconds later, you hear it sounds like an avalanche almost in the distance as this thing lands, and you actually feel a vibration through the ground,
right?
As this thing lands, and but the slender giant says to you, "This is acceptable." Please.
Perfect. I pull out a little tiny cage, and it's about yay big, so maybe like 4 inches tall, and I'm gonna walk up to him, and I polymorph him into a grasshopper. He's a willing creature.
That's different than saying I allow you to cast a spell on me, but
nope. I asked him, and they're willing. He said he was willing.
No, that's not what you asked.
He can try and contest it.
I'm just curious. What is
My concern is that you're casting a spell that could probably be interpreted as hostile, and they'll kill you. Is my
That's
worry
fine.
here?
I can squish a grasshopper.
But then they become a giant again.
You can try to squish a grasshopper with 80 hit points.
Well, the problem is when if I remember right, polymorph will have it go to its hit points. Let's see.
As soon as the grasshopper's hit points are spent, then it becomes the giant again.
That's fine.
But because she hasn't
squished it. But I can still
it,
squish a grasshopper.
Because she hasn't squished it, I'm just curious, how would they go? What kind of save would they need to do if they were going to contest this?
Let's see. He needs to do Wiz save.
Wisdom save.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of 3.5. It's fortitude. It's a con or will save.
See something here.
Wisdom save.
Let me pull up. Let's pull up the old.
My concern is that I'm casting a spell, and then the shaman giant decides to just nuke you. I'm like, ooh.
Let's see. So it's a wisdom
Ren
save.
gives no shits. Yes.
Hang on. I'm trying to. Okay, there's my die. Okay. All right. Oh. Yeah. He crit that.
Nice.
So
he was not willing. He's gonna contest it.
Yeah, he's saying he's just like, I'll stay with you, little one, but I'll not be subject to your magics.
Then I'm not going. You won't convince me otherwise. I don't trust people enough. If you want me to trust you with our lives, then you're gonna trust me with yours.
Persuasion.
Again, stuff. Well, I guess I'm okay with persuasion. I have some charisma. 16.
How do you
Fine, but I get to choose the form.
As long as it's smaller than me, and I can carry you.
And he kind of looks around for a second. And he bends down because he wants to try to get as close to you as possible because he's trying to whisper, which again in giant is like still like listening to a rock slide, and
And I have big ears, so that's gonna hurt.
as quietly as he can. Can you make me a ferret?
Oh fuck yeah, ferret, done. Polymorph into a ferret.
Can either of us hear this?
Oh yeah, it's not even like it. Again, it's a giant trying to whisper.
Yeah,
is probably close to like a normal person's tone of voice.
Just as he acquiesces and she starts casting a spell, and Thunuk realizes what he says. He's going to say, "Oh, that's adorable."
And what?
What spell slot is polymorph?
That's one of my 4th level ones.
Okay, because that's 3 things you've polymorphed.
Well, no, I only polymorphed one thing.
Well, you're
Now
right,
I've
but you polymorphed a
him.
leaf into the squirrel, it had an existential crisis, and then died. And then you tried to polymorph.
I'm gonna
and then
count.
he
I'm gonna allow
resisted.
this as kind of like it was like the spell like hit the wall, and she's kind of holding it like. That's the way I'm gonna allow this for it because it's fun. Because
I still want you to shoot your wad and like then be slain. Like this is very dangerous. That thing that you're doing.
I'm
Oh,
okay.
I thought you
still
didn't like
have-
Dren.
I don't. I like clues. I don't like Dren.
So
Nope. I've still got 5th level, 3rd, 2nd.
enough.
I got all kinds of spells and bullshit.
and now this is a like larger than normal ferret. I mean, it's not like I would say it's probably about the size. I'm gonna say probably like almost like
it's like corgi-sized ferret.
It's extra wiggly.
yeah. I'd say that's a good example. A corgi.
It's still smaller than
ferret.
me, so I'm cool
Yeah.
with it.
And he's kind of adorable. He's got
Oh,
the
yeah.
he's got the smooth.
I'm
black
gonna go
fur.
from extreme hostile
Mhm.
to scritch, scritch.
And it like involuntarily, and you can see there's kind of like a look of like a disgust on its own face as the back leg goes.
Mhm.
Because
Oh yeah.
scritches.
I'd be like, and then I'll be happy in my own shit, and I'll turn around. Okay, we can go now.
And so the slender giant says, "Will this suffice, please?
Hmm.
I must insist."
Deal has been made, and I'll continue on scritch behind the ears as we're walking.
Eno's still playing his song. Is Thunuk still affected? Does he get to
Thunuk
make
can
another?
try for another charisma saving throw with advantage.
12?
Is that with advantage?
Wait, hold on. I think I did the math wrong. I
Yeah.
think I added the wrong number there. 10?
And that's with advantage?
Yes.
No, that is not enough.
You're not
Sorry,
doing
no, that
so
was 12.
good.
That's a +4. Never mind. Yeah, but it's
It's
12.
still not enough.
Okay, yeah.
Not enough.
I used my skill bonus before, so really mine was a 17 the time I rolled it before because I'm like, oh wait, my charisma save is 8, not 4. Anyway,
it's better.
it worked out fine.
So, Hugon, you see this
Four.
giant go down to like nothing,
Mhm.
right? And then you see the group start to proceed into this what looks to be some kind of like behind some kind of outcropping into the mountain.
Hugon turns to the buffling and
Fling?
he goes, "This normal procedure for these giants?"
I've never seen that before.
No, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the magic bullshit. Like they take prisoners.
Constantly.
Okay.
Anyone that comes into their territory, they go
What
in.
do they use them for?
Well, menial labor for most part. But they say
Okay.
that we can't go until we've paid the tax.
Okay, so it's
But the tax leads to death.
okay. So
So most of the creatures that end up there stay there. But they couldn't
Okay.
get me. I've been trying to free my family, but I haven't been able to. But I've taken some of those right bastards down.
how many are in their clan unit?
Oh, a lot.
Round number. I need more than a lot.
Of just the giants.
Just the giants would be
Just
fine.
the giants are probably. Oh, dear gods above. I'm going to say there's probably at least 30 in there.
Okay, that's a lot of giants.
And then
then
there's
all
all
of
the,
them-
and then there's all their friends.
Okay, what kind of friends?
Oh, there's some Dwergar in there.
Okay, those are problematic.
Fewer than there were before, though.
Dwergar bastards, yes.
The bastards.
Yeah. Continue.
And, well, pretty sure I saw a couple drow in there.
Okay, also
they don't
problematic.
Yeah. It's
don't-
not a friendly place.
No, can't imagine.
But, you seem like the killing type.
Oh, very much so. I was hoping that they would not agree to be captured and that they were going to kill the shaman. That didn't happen.
He's very powerful.
Well, yeah, I
But-
picked up on that.
They quite possibly fell under the spell. They're
Makes
planning.
sense.
I can tell you this. They're planning dark things down there. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's sinister. Whatever they're up to, they fall underneath that shaman's spell. But you seem like the killing type, and if you're looking to kill some big fucking things, I think you and I are gonna get along fine.
I think we should kill ourselves a shaman.
You're talking my language, boyo.
Okay, cool. Well, why don't you get us inside, and then we'll just we'll kind of play it from there.
All right, you got to follow me though.
Okay.
And he turns to his sister and he says something in giant, and she
Time out. Listen. Not to be a bastard about this, but like if we're gonna make this work, we're gonna have to be able to.
No, I understand completely. Here's the thing. She's been through a lot. And me speaking to her that way, it makes it easier for her to understand.
Okay.
All I'm asking, I'll tell you what I'm saying to her, is that she needs to stay here because she won't fit through the door. And that she needs to hide.
Fair.
All right? And he, finishes his thing, and she, sits down and turns invisible.
Buck, stay with her. Do not follow us. And if we're not back in 72 hours, report to home office.
And there's he floats over to where Thunuk's sister was, and he's kind of in the general vicinity, and he kind of floats down a little bit, but there's very sad puppy eyes on kind of projected on the front of the thing.
Cool. I'm immune to your charms.
And so he leads you to under one of the fallen trees, and you can kind of slip under it. You can see there's almost a hollow underneath that he's able to fit through very easily. You had him have to work your way through a little bit. It's a little bit of a tight fit with your armor on and everything. But once you get under there, you can see it's almost like the tree is covering a pit, and it smells of fresh dug earth. And at the bottom of this pit, it's about 10 feet deep, and you're able to lower yourself down. And at the bottom of this pit is this stone gateway, very angular in shape, and it's just large enough to allow a average-sized human to fit through.
Okay.
And you can see it's open, very, very thick doors, and you can see it's very along the edges. It's very, very intricate. It looks like a very intricate locking mechanism. So he leads you down into this tunnel. He's like, this way. This is the way to the back door. And he motions for you to go in so he can close the door behind you and get it locked.
Okay. Well, we'll follow him for now.
Okay. And door closes. And he's like, oh crap, you can't see in the dark, can you?
I can.
You can.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's pitch black now. When this door closes, there's no light getting through.
Okay. Well, Hugon will remove his obviator lenses and slip on his mask.
Mm-hmm. So there's a dull red glowing from the mask. And he's like, well, that's right, scary then.
That's
Cool.
its job.
Good. You're gonna need it. And he starts leading you down this dark passageway that is approximately 10 feet wide.
Mm-hmm.
And it angles up. The walls are angled up, and then it's a flat roof on it. So it's almost like an inverted keystone type
Okay.
configuration. And along the way, you're able to see. It looks very disused, lots of dust. But you can see it looks like arrow slits and murder holes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say give me a perception check real quick.
Okay.
Give me a real quick one.
12.
This is very obviously dwarven.
Okay.
And so you're not terribly worried about the murder holes and the arrow slits because this is standard dwarven design. That by their entrances, it was probably in a book you've read about warfare and fortresses and siege warfare. It's not, the dwarves would leave one way in, right? So you'd funnel everyone in, and that way would be nothing but a tunnel of absolute murder and death.
Gotcha.
So so you're seeing this is a very defensible position.
Gotcha. This is a specific side, probably guard entrance, such as what they would use to either control the entrance or the passage up those stairs, or launch surprise attacks and shit from.
And as you're walking down, you can hear your footsteps echoing dully down the hallway, and it's ever so slightly slanted down as it's getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And you're estimating it's probably going to take you going this way. You probably have about a 10-minute walk before you're going to get to anywhere near the mountain. And you can see every now and again there's like little passageways off to the side with the standard dwarven doors. And if you ever see a dwarven door, and the way the dwarves make doors is they're not hinged. They're actually on pivots in the middle where they open up, and like it pivots on the middle of the door.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I think again, defensively, wide open door, lots of people get through. Door that only opens halfway, it makes it a
challenge.
Dwarves always made everything very, very defensible. It's true. It's rare that dwarven fortresses ever fell due to outside forces. It was usually internal forces that forced the fall of the thing. And the entire time, so the guy, so your little the buffling.
Sorry.
He goes, so how long have you known my brother?
Jeez. Maybe a year or two.
Is he doing good?
I guess.
You guess?
I mean, he needs. I think he trusts a little too much, too easily.
Aye, that's Thunuk.
He's also occasionally endangered children.
Well, that does not sound like him.
He didn't do it on purpose.
That sounds like him.
More of yeah.
He's a good lad.
He's not a bad guy.
No, he's a good lad. He's got a pure heart.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, sorry, I should have introduced myself. The name's Croc.
Croc, okay.
What shall I be calling you?
I am Hugon Valander.
Hugon Valander. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I'm beginning to suspect that.
Are you of the Cormyrian Valanders?
Yep, that's what I was afraid of.
I think I knew your daddy.
Probably. He didn't get us around as much as my grandfather, but we're not famous. We're
like internet famous.
We're like
I'm like TikTok
how do I
famous.
describe this? We're the kind of we're not infamous, but we're like
you're known.
Yeah, and not necessarily in a good way.
I don't know that's true.
Okay, maybe not everybody.
I think it depends what side you're on.
That's probably true.
Be you an orc? No, you're not famous in a good way. If you're standing on the other side of that shield, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I had an ale with your dad.
It's possible.
And your ma.
Also possible, but slightly less likely.
No, I think she could drink if I remember correctly.
Probably true.
Right. Well,
They've been dead for a very long time, and I really don't want to have this conversation.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and this is
Understood.
now the end of this conversation.
Right. So what is it that you think you need to know? Because I know a lot, but I don't know what you don't know, and I don't know what to fill you in on or where to start.
Okay, where does this tunnel lead?
So this is an ancient that you can tell that dwarves used to live here.
Right.
Right? But it backs up to the mountain where their mines were.
Okay.
Okay? That is where the stone giants decided to make their home.
In the mines. Okay.
In the mines, I got to say it looks kind of nice in there. They didn't do a half bad job sprucing the place up.
Okay.
But this tunnel will eventually back us up all the way into their lair.
Okay.
It'll bring us in, I'm going to say towards the bottom.
Okay.
Towards one of the lower levels. Now it goes deeper than that. And that's where they send the people either to be punished or to pay the tax.
Okay.
And it hasn't worked out well.
Right. So the next question I have is, where do they keep their captives?
Well, they're kind of divided up.
Okay.
They don't centralize them because all of the captives are paying a different kind of tax, where they've essentially been farmed out to the different family groups, for lack of a better term.
No, I understand.
And they're doing the menial tasks within those areas.
Okay. So they don't have like central jails or pens or things like that.
No, they don't take prisoners. You either work for them or you don't.
Okay.
You either earn your keep or you don't. Which would be nice if it wasn't forced.
How far away from this tunnel's exit is the shaman's tent?
He has
not tent, not dwelling.
His
Sorry,
dwelling.
I'm thinking. Yeah.
And he says, well, he has some sort of shrine that when he rests, and it's approximately, I'm trying to remember now. I don't think I've made it that far before, but it's about 3 to 4 floors up.
Okay.
And he's the only one that goes up there.
Okay. Ah, damn. I was hoping to collapse their dwellings into the pit, but I guess that won't work if the captives are also in the dwellings.
Yeah, we would have.
I guess it really. Do we care about the rest of them?
They're my family, lad.
Well, I mean, are all of them your family, or are only some of them your family?
Most of them are my family.
Okay, well then I guess we care.
That's a bit cynical.
Listen, I'm not a good person, and my primary purpose is to kill other people. So yes, you're pretty much correct.
I think you have a feeling about that.
Probably.
You should talk to me, sister.
She mentioned some stuff. I don't think I will.
Your choice. You don't always have to walk the same path. You know that, right?
Yeah, and this conversation is now also over. So let's get back to the task at hand.
Right. So you continue your trek down this hallway, and we'll come back to the scene in just a moment here. So for the remainder of Team X, what's left of Team X,
for the people who are willingly following the giants
and have not been pulped, the slender giant, so he takes you behind this outcropping that is, as I said before, from certain angles it blends in perfectly, and you wouldn't have been able to see that there was an actual entrance into this dwelling from certain angles. But he leads you behind that, and it's basically like this long, tall, almost slot canyon that is very narrow, very, very high, sheer sides, and it leads to this tall door, and there's two broad stone giants at the door there, and it takes two of them to pry this door open. And you can hear it and you can hear as the sound of, you can hear
Sorry.
this.
There's a truck driving by.
Okay.
I apologize.
You could hear this door as it just grinds on the ground as it opens up, and you can see like the effort it takes these two giants to pry this door open. And the slender giant leads you down into it's a tunnel that's tall enough for giants, so for probably a good 25 feet high, but again pretty narrow in terms of like you think if this giant were to reach his hands out to both sides, he'd be able to touch both walls, which is still probably a good, probably a good 20 feet, between 10 and 20 feet. But he leads you down, and eventually it slopes down, and you end up in this open space that's approximately 100 feet high, and there's different like stairwells curving up along the side to the different levels. It looks like this is like a central cylindrical hub, and there's these stairways leading up to the different levels, and you can see it's all lit by this this pale greenish light from, it looks like lichen growing on the rocks. So it's dim, but you're able to see what's going on there, and you can see it's actually it's deathly quiet in there, and you can see that there's other giants around, and it looks like some of them are meditating. Some of them are engaged in somehow quiet conversations that you're not able to hear, whether there's some kind of like muffling effect in there that you're not hearing the same, it doesn't have the same reverberance as it did before. You see them, there's like some tables set up on the one side, and you see some of the giants eating there at these enormous tables, and there are servants bringing these enormous platters of food out. And it looks like at this point mostly like vegetation type stuff, things that have been grown, things that could be grown underground, roots and
mushrooms, other such things.
Maybe some grubs mixed in there, slimy but delicious. And but you see they're hoisting, and you can see that it's actually Fearbolg, who are it's someone that's they're creatures that are as tall as Thunuk, or nearly as tall as Thunuk, that are bringing these enormous trays out and sliding them onto the tables. And Thunuk, you do recognize one of them as your mother.
Kill Bill sirens begin.
Is she working?
She is bringing food out to the tables.
Okay, and I am still feeling the warm fuzzies.
You are still feeling the warm fuzzies.
I've been playing this song the whole time.
Well, let's get us another another check. Let's do another check.
All right, that's 21 or 12. So it's 21.
21 is enough. And you feel this
rage
blanket.
Rage!
You feel this blanket removed from your mind, like when you've seen like a cloth being taken off of the top of a platter of food, and you finally feel like your senses kind of return to you again, and you feel less. You didn't realize before, but you had felt like a little muffled, a little muddy in the thoughts, and you recognize now that there was some kind of charming effect that had been placed over you, that you had felt that had fallen awash over you, that you're pretty sure came from this shaman-looking giant. And the warm fuzzies are gone. You don't have that feeling of acquaintance from him anymore.
Murder. Sorry.
Did I insight this guy? I insighted this guy just a little bit ago.
You did insight him. If you wish to try again, you can certainly try again.
Um. Yes, and I'd like to do this as a contested thing. I guess as charisma using my empathic ability.
So what does this do?
I can use an action to try to get uncanny insight of one humanoid you can see within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
Or I can see within 30. But it's basically just an insight check, but at the same time, it gives me an advantage on attacking rolls until my next turn, if that were to come up.
Okay.
And it's versus their charisma.
Versus their charisma. So you're trying. Okay. So let's see. What is his charisma? Okay. And is it just whoever rolls higher? Is that how this? We're just doing that contested.
Yeah, contested.
Okay. You win.
Well
Okay.
then,
Things went poorly, I guess.
Things went poorly on that. So.
I love it when that happens. When like the DM is like, "Well, we're gonna roll off," and okay,
Never
well,
mind.
you win.
unless we have a repeat of last week. So again, you kind of get the same feeling. You're not picking up any ill intent towards you. From this giant, you're getting a sense of general malice from the other stone giants, but that may not be atypical of the experience of interacting with them. But you do feel that he might be hiding something. But that is something we will discuss when we get back from our break.
Okay.
So we are going to take the briefest of breaks to do the things that need to be done. And then once we are done doing those things, we will come back and we will play more Dungeons and Dragons. So
Yay!
please stay tuned and we will see you very soon. 1, and we are back. Oh wait, hang on a second. I got to readjust Drenmai here. She's a little out of alignment, although that's kind of on brand for Drenmai. We don't use alignment.
Oh yeah,
here.
I am kind of floating off to
No,
the side, aren't I?
I got it fixed. Yeah, we're not.
Jeez, Brian.
Sorry.
How dare you?
How dare I? I'm gonna go sit in the corner now and think about what I did. No, I'm not. I'm actually gonna become a dungeon master for the next approximately hour and 10 minutes or so, and we're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons because hey, this is fun shit. So when we last left our at least I think it is. If it's not, tell me. When we last left our protagonists, they had
Yeah, sure. I hate it. I'm here every week, and I fucking hate it. No.
Listen, if that's your kink, I don't want to make
I'm
you.
here out of guilt. I had to tell you.
Man, you're hitting like
feel
all
bad
the
about
you're
it.
hitting like all the social anxiety. You're hitting like
Touchstones.
all the social anxiety touchstones. That people are only here because they feel guilty, because they feel bad. They actually hate me.
You want to hear the ultimate? The ultimate? I search for other games to play while I play with you.
Oh God.
I'm kidding.
Terrible.
I don't actually do that.
Wow.
But that is some shit that somebody has said to me before.
Wow.
Canceled.
I would
What?
immediately kill their character and then kick him out of my
Well,
table.
Yeah.
we're not gonna do that. What we're gonna do?
No. This is not what actually. I'm
We are gonna
saying
play
to Brian.
Dad. Let's play some Dad.
Can we?
Can we play Dad? We can. We can
No.
play Dad.
Octodad.
Octodad. We can play this game that we call Dungeons and Dragons. When we last left our protagonists, they did probably the wisest thing you can ever do in Dungeons and Dragons, and that is to split the party.
I was about to say, take a hostage.
Well, that definitely puts the odds in your favor, right? But so things that happened with that are Hugon has met up with Thunuk's brother, Croc, the swole halfling,
The buffling.
the buffling, new race, right? New race features.
Mhm.
The buffling, and is sneaking in through the back door to the stone giant's compound, and is learning.
That has to be a euphemism somewhere.
There's already like an entire Pornhub community dedicated to it right now. Quantum theory. Was it quantum theory of
I don't
internet
like this.
fetishes?
Wait, what was the rule? Rule 30
34.
34.
Rule
Rule
34.
34.
Yeah, and now
Um,
that we've discussed it, we're never discussing it again.
Exactly, it's done. Done. Whilst the rest of the party, which would be Drenmai, Thunuk, and E02, have gone in through the front door, which is not a euphemism, and are there at as guests of the shamanistic slender man giant, and have entered into what appears to be some kind of main foyer. I don't want to add
Foyer. Yeah,
foyer,
either one.
the foyer.
Yay.
Which is this cylindrical, hollowed out section of the mountain, which goes up and up and up and up. And you can see that there are stairways leading up to each level, and down you can see there's like lights from the different passageways going down. That the entire place is lit up with this softly light green glowing lichen. Or green lichen, if we're going to start a whole new thing. No. Okay. I'll give it a shot. And it's very dark. It appears very muffled. Sound is not traveling quite as far as it was. You can see it looks like there's giants that are actually speaking with each other, and it does not sound like the side of the mountain is collapsing. But Thunuk discovered that he was somehow awash with charm from the slender giant, and he was able to throw that off with the help of E02 playing his wonderful songs. But E02, you did notice as well as you walked into this room that the sound, the acoustics changed. You went from the general room reverberation that you're used to when you're playing like at a tavern to if there were an equivalent of a Faerunian recording studio without the reverb, where you're going into like a voice studio, which is very not dead sound, but very close to.
It's dampened.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
the acoustics, not good. Not good. And you did notice that there are Fearbolg that were serving food
Yeah.
to the to some of the giants who were sitting down to eat. And Thunuk realized that one of these was his mother. And you also, Thunuk, had done a contested perception check, right? Insight check, which the stone giant handily lost in the most greatest fashion possible. And you notice that there is a that while you're not picking up ill intent from the giant, there does appear to be something more. He's not being 100% forthcoming with you. You're not sure why that's twinging. You're not sure what's got your Fearbolg sense tingling. You're not sure what that is. It's kind of like when you meet someone for the first time, and they come off as perfectly nice, perfectly reasonable, but there's something about them that you're just like, it's not right. Yeah. And it's like you give them and maybe you give them the benefit of the doubt, but after a certain amount of time, you're like, oh wait, I was right. This person's an enormous asshole. You're kind of learned. Yeah, you're kind of like that, where you're like, something's not quite right there about that. But that is the scene that you see before you.
All right. He sees his mom, and he's going to basically just do the Mom!
Ah!
Mom, over here! Hi!
Look at me! Look at me! Look at me! Look at me!
He all but bolts towards her. He's just like, he's running like, I haven't seen you in a long time. Blah, 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 blah. That sort of happy running. Almost looks like, when you come home, you would know this because you got two of them. You come home after a long while, and your dogs have basically assumed that you died, and behold the resurrection of the human. Oh my God, the wiggle butt. I cannot stay in one place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And sometimes they like just, piss themselves in joy.
Yeah. Minus that.
Mine does that.
I'm so happy. Oh God.
Who among us has not done that? I mean,
I don't think I've ever been that happy about much of anything.
No.
I'm so happy I tinkle.
I actually kind of wonder what that's like. But that being said,
pure joy.
I don't.
Well, as you're yelling, it is very muffled, and it doesn't appear like the sound is actually making it all the way across this vast expanse, which is probably a good 200 feet. I mean, this is a big cylinder, because for giants, it would be kind of like a normal sized space, right? But being that you are not giants, even you, Thunuk, not a giant, as much as you would want to be, you're wee.
Yes.
Compared to the giants. So but you notice it's like again, and you notice that again, that
yeah.
The acoustics again. You hear Thunuk, mom, but it's not carrying, and you think even across an open space like this. Knowing what you do of acoustics, being as acoustically minded and versed in the art of sound and making those sounds, it is odd that it is not traveling very, very far. It is very, very muffled. And as you're running away, the slender giant does say to the rest of you, he goes, while I appreciate his exuberance, and it will be forgiven for this moment, I would have to ask that you understand that our home is a place of reverence and of contemplation. And
so I shouldn't be shitting on the floor right now? Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm not there, so I don't say that.
Wait, who is he saying this to?
He's saying this to the rest of you too, because Thunuk's already, bounding away. And
He's
saying,
trundled away.
If you could explain to your friend that this is
I'm gonna
place of silence,
look
not
at me,
silence, but of quiet contemplation.
do the look at me, look at the Nook, look at me, look at the Nook. You think I can contain that?
Polymorph him.
Last polymorph of the day.
And he looks at you and he goes, I feel that you are capable of much more than
Damn it, he called me
what
shit.
you would have
Of course he
others
called you
believe.
shit.
Eno,
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Don't you have some calming songs or something?
Eno turns to the slender
Mm-hmm.
giant
Mm-hmm.
and uses thaumaturgy to make his voice sound 3 times louder than normal. And I'm
I
going
love
to
the
roll
pettiness. I love it.
an intimidation check on him.
Okay.
Bardic inspiration.
I don't have any charges
Oh
of that.
no!
Use an ultimate if you need to.
Expend everything.
Do it all.
Can't you get advantage though? By spending a charge? Isn't that one of the
2 charges would get you. So 1 charge would let you use your minor. 2
Uh-huh.
charges would let you use what that called?
I don't want to burn it.
Advantage. Or if the stream was so wonderful. Actually, we did get a new stream boss. Actually, I do need to do this because you guys did. We did get a new stream boss, so I need to fix this here. Give me 1 second. This is it'll update on your screens momentarily. Here we go. This is the wonderful thing because JD Lady was the new stream boss. So there you go. So you do get that, but if the stream, if our audience was so kind, they can offer you boons in such a manner. But yes, that is okay. So you're trying to roll intimidation with thaumaturgy.
Actually, can I do a performance?
Justify it, Mr. Office.
It's an intimidation. I rolled a 9.
Well, wait, but you're using thaumaturgy though, correct?
Yeah, I'm using thaumaturgy to make my voice really loud.
Okay, so I will offer you this deal. We're gonna Crawford this. I will allow you to roll that intimidation check with advantage, but then it would become a contested intimidation check.
All right.
Sounds good to me. Do it.
Oh, Jack die.
Roll a 20. Come on.
God damn it!
Didn't
It's a
count.
3. It's a 3 again.
Damn it, Roz. I can't help in any way, shape, or form. I don't think.
There's nothing I can do. So
You could kill
go
the
ahead.
shaman. Oh
So
wait.
this is what I say.
Mhm.
All right. I say, oh, they're your guests. Looks to me like they're serving. That's how you treat your guests here. It doesn't seem like they're your guests. If they're not your guests, then we're not your guests either. And this is going to end very badly for you.
Question mark?
For you. And very stoically, the giant just looks down at you and he says, they are guests because they were invited. And the way of our people is that if you enter our territory unbidden, you must fulfill the offering.
What's the offering? He's still really loud.
And he says, well, there is the work that they have agreed to do in exchange for being allowed passage through this place, or they can attempt to fulfill a task that so far has been unfulfilled, though it has not ended well for those who have attempted to take on this task.
agreed to do or forced to do?
It is their choice.
Is it a choice, though? Is it a choice?
Between helping us in exchange for passage or almost certain death.
So it's not a choice then.
There
So
is
the
always
choice
a
is
choice.
the choice is or death. That's what you're saying.
Jake or death. Sorry.
I just want to clarify.
Everyone has a choice. Some choose death. But death is not forced.
And how are people
And it's not
supposed to know?
guaranteed.
How are people supposed to know that they're in your land? You don't have a sign anywhere. There's no road signs. This sounds like a scam to me, man.
It would to a creature as young as you.
Yeah. I guess it would. And he casts.
Can't hear you.
You muted yourself,
You
Roz.
muted yourself.
I'm gonna cast dissonant whispers on him at 5th level.
Oh, God. So is there a save on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a Wisdom 16.
Okay. And is this put any conditions on there?
He's got to run away, and he gets hurt.
Okay.
Are you dissonant whispers him?
Yeah, it's dissonant whispers.
Oh, love it.
16. He rolls a 16.
Does he still take damage?
Oh, half damage. All right. All right, so I gotta roll. Hang on. So it's 7d6.
7d6?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I like that. Like now, there's going to probably be combat, and that's going to make a fantastic distraction.
Surrounded by giants.
Oh, it's going to be great. And they can't get away from us because they're all in a hole.
I'm not locked in here with you.
Exactly.
You're locked in here with me.
You're locked in here with me.
So, while he's mathing that, we are technically in the Marith Watch at this point?
Yes, you are technically in the Marith Watch.
Okay.
So that's a total of 31, so it's 15. He takes 15 points of damage.
Okay. Is okay. We're gonna come back to that.
Okay.
We're gonna come back to that. Thunuk. Stomp. You're running towards mom. Oh.
Sorry, I had the wrong one.
Hang on.
Let's say we all swapped around.
Hold on a second. Now I
We
gotta
look
fix it
weird
again.
now.
Change places.
Oh.
That's a yeah. He cast a spell. Exchange places. Hang on. Over here.
I'm grumpy old
Oh my
Hugon
God.
Valander.
I just realized that Brian spelled my name wrong.
What?
Huh?
No, I didn't. Ha ha. I
It's
didn't.
A J, not a G.
I didn't make it.
I actually made the overlay on my bad.
Damn it!
Anyway, we'll come back to that. For once, it wasn't me. Okay, we're gonna come back to it. So Thunuk.
In my defense, I honestly spelled it with a J, and I thought, no, it can't be like the cartoon character name, and then I auto-corrected
is.
myself.
It is.
So Thunuk stomp, running over to mom. Mom is serving up, sliding this enormous tray. She's got like this thing like military pressed over her head. This enormous tray of food, and is like sliding it onto the table for the giants. And you come running up to her.
Why are you guys here? What happened? What happened? I thought you guys left a long time ago. You never came back for me. I thought you just left me.
And she turns, and you notice there's like a blue glaze over her eyes. and she says,
Mhm.
"You seem familiar. Do I know you?"
It's me, Thunuk. Your son. Your youngest son.
But we are all each other's children. Are we not?
You're not making any sense.
Yeah, things are climbing the creep ramp real quick.
You should probably get one of the treatments, shouldn't you? You seem confused.
I am a little bit confused.
We
What-
can
what-
get that fixed for you.
Yeah, you also seem a little bit confused, but
No, I'm not confused though.
but you're my mom, and you don't know who I am, and you normally would.
I think you're confused. I think we'll get this fixed for you. And she like motions over to someone, and a few more large beefy Fearbolg come over. The same blue glaze over their eyes. You think you might recognize them, maybe distant cousins. Might have seen them at like a Gentle Trunk Jamboree at some point or something. You know, it's and they come and they say, "Come with us, child. We will unconfuse you." It's better to not be confused, is it not?
Yes, but I think I'm not the one who's confused here. I start backing up, and
Well, and when you back up into another Fearbolg, and your mother says, "But if we're all not confused, and you are confused, would that not make you the one that's confused? Would you not want to be not confused? Wouldn't you want this to be... Wouldn't you want to understand?"
yeah, huh?
Do I see them ganging up on the Nook over there?
You do see like kind of like not necessarily ganging up, but they're definitely like around him. There's a group of Fearbolg, but you can't see like, or you can't hear anything. Excuse me, because you know they're
Okay.
they're a distance away.
Thunuk is going to use the Rocky Talkie and tell them, "Hey guys, my mom says I'm kind of confused and I should have a treatment of some sort.
No.
Usually my mom's not wrong about this kind of thing, and I'm not. I think maybe she might be this time. I'm confused and concerned."
Clicky, be right over.
Okay.
And Hugon, you hear like bits and pieces of that as you and Kronk are moving through the hallway. You're getting closer now. Kronk has indicated that you are getting closer. You're probably like you're not far. It'll be like a minute or two before you're able to actually get there.
So Hugon, yeah,
But it's like kind of like broken up and staticky because you're now under a mountain.
yeah,
And reception's
reception's
bad.
not great. Hugon will turn off his audio
Yeah.
so that he doesn't spoil his stealth.
Right.
And he hasn't like done his like button armor transformation thing yet, so he's not armored or anything like that.
Yeah.
And he goes to the buffling and says, "What would the giants be doing right now? Usually at this time of day."
They spend most of the time meditating and in prayer. They don't do much. I mean, there's the ones that are working sentry, but you already saw them. And they'll be out there for a bit. We're still a few hours away from any kind of guard change.
Okay.
But for the most part, unless they're working night duty, they'd be sleeping. Everyone else, they're probably starting to gather into the main chamber.
Okay. And where does this tunnel lead out Beneath the main chamber
Beneath
or
it.
above the main?
Beneath it.
Shit.
1 floor beneath it.
Okay.
I can get us there without being seen for the most part.
If they're all there or on sentry duty, do you think we could get to the upper floors without being seen?
It's possible. We'd
Then
have to be
that's what
very
we're gonna do.
sneaky.
We're going to do that.
Did I hear Thunuk say something about treatment?
But I'm sure the other two will keep him from doing anything stupid.
You don't want him to go through the treatment.
I'm pretty sure that we agree on that point, and that
Alright.
neither Drenmai or Eno will allow that to happen if they can help it.
You trust them?
One of them, and I trust the other one to do what's in her best interest.
Is it in her best interest to help Thunuk?
Yes, because she thinks she possesses Thunuk. She has this kind of weird, like, you're mine now thing when it comes to people. Not like not like slavery, but like
a pet?
Yeah.
Alright.
A bit.
Wait, is it the short one?
Yeah, it's the short one.
Is she able to handle herself?
Dren's ears are ringing.
Is she able to handle herself?
Probably. She's gonna certainly try, and if things come to a fight, she'll probably, at the very least, be an adequate distraction. Until they squish.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. That is I have no idea what my persuasion score is. I know what my charisma bonus
because it
is.
comes up so rarely. It's usually
up
intimidate.
It's usually intimidate.
It's intimidate or hit it.
Hit it with a rock.
Hit it with a rock.
Hang on. Damn.
Okay.
Do. Okay. 12.
He looks really skeptical,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, I'll help you as much as I can, and I'll tell you how to get up there. But if I see my brother in danger,
Well,
family
here's the
comes
thing.
first.
Your brother's probably really capable in a fight, and also our goal.
Didn't he
now,
get hit with a rock?
Yeah, he'll be fine. He gets hit with a lot of rocks. This is kind of a regular thing for him. My point is that we've got a job to cut the head off of this snake, so to speak. If that shrine is important to these giants, I bet destroying it will at the very least make them angry, but it might handle that spell thing that you were talking about. It might make that go away. So suddenly all their captives are not under a spell anymore. And I don't know about you, but when I've been captain for a while and I stop being a captive, I get pretty pissed and I start to really, want to hurt things. So hopefully we get that for us.
Right.
So we have a goal and a mission, and we need to stay on the goal and the mission. You get what I'm saying?
I think so.
There's no running off. No, I got to go do this and help. They can handle themselves. I promise.
I'll take your word for it for now.
That's a good thing. You should continue to take my word for it. I wouldn't steer you wrong. I actually like Thunuk.
You better not be joking with me, mask bearer.
I'm not. I actually do like Thunuk.
All right. We'll be there in just a minute. Steel yourself. All right, so I'm trying to figure out how we're going to adjudicate this, because we have Thunuk over with his mom and the other Fearbogs. We've got Drenmai scampering off over there, and we have Eno, who just attacked with dissonant whispers. The apparently the head giant in charge. I think there's only one way to do it. Roll for initiative.
Initiative.
All right.
Initialize.
18.
Hang on one second. I gotta make some notes
18.
here. Hey, you stop it right now. You stop it. All right, so we got that. We got okay. We got hang on. No, I need this. I need books that have the information that I need. Good thing they made these books that have the information that I need. I'm so glad. Here we go. Okay. Oh, that's actually kind of... Wow. All right. And then this guy is... okay. All right. And then... Okay, so let's do this. Anyone get between 21 and 25? No. All right. Did anyone get between 16 and 20?
Yes.
Okay. Dren got an 18. What did you get,
I got an unnatural 20.
An unnatural 20.
The dirtiest of 20s, you dirty 20.
Dirty 20, dirty, filthy. Dirty 20. All right, so we got that. We got... Okay, we're going to do that. Did anybody get between a... And Hugon roll as well, so that way we could just figure out where to insert you into the order here once you... What?
Weird. 22?
22. Okay.
That was weird.
That was weird. Okay. And then, okay, did we get anybody that has between...
Only
11...
one person left. It's just me, and I have a 2.
Oh, my God.
What? You're,
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. That's something. Okay. All right. So, Hugon, we'll say that you'll be able to, based on where you are, you might have to do some stealth checking.
Sure.
Because he's taking, just to make sure. Well, give me a quick stealth check. Give me a
Okay.
quick, and you're not armored at this point, correct?
No.
Okay. So you would be able to roll that without any kind of disadvantage.
Okay. It's a 15.
15, that's fine. So you're in the next turn, when we get to the top of the next round, that will be when you'll be entering into the fray.
Okay.
And doing whatever it is
Mhm.
you choose to do there. Tis your turn. So first of all, are the dissonant whispers saying anything, or is it just that they're hearing like?
So,
Because this is we're going back and
Yeah.
saying what happened before to add the flavor, and then we'll go into what your turn actually is.
yeah, they would be like, you're going to fail, you're going to lose, you're going to fail, you're going to lose.
Wow.
You suck. Your mother hates you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
No, they don't.
No, don't say that.
That's too mean.
Even for
That's if you had rolled full damage.
Yeah.
That's if I rolled
I would
nat
have peppered
20 or
it in.
something.
Yeah.
Okay, so
May
he said-
all
and,
of your bread fall flat forever.
and you
Oh,
can
wow.
wow, that's
Cruel.
May your
God.
yeast never rise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you could see his brow furrows, and his sapphire eyes lock upon you with this. But not much of a reaction outside of that. But now it is your turn, because you
Okay.
obviously that you can see now there are some stone giants that are starting to move because they sort of saw that something's going on here. He's kind of taken on a slightly different posture, so people are aware things are probably about to go down. There's a tenseness that suddenly fills the air.
All right. So, is still very loud because
Yes.
that lasts a minute.
Okay.
So he goes, you think you can just get away with enslaving people against their will? I don't think so. It's people like you that are first against the wall when the revolution comes. And I'm casting vicious mockery at him.
Okay.
So like while I'm saying this is the vicious mockery.
Mhm.
He needs to do another Wisdom 16 saving throw.
Okay. Wisdom 16 saving throw.
Yeah.
He makes it.
God damn it.
You know what it is? It's these Norse Foundry dice.
I have Norse Foundry dice. Does anything happen?
Does anything happen? I don't.
Does anything? I'm looking at it.
It's usually like a half
No.
damage thing, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. So there's almost like a small grin from him, and his response is, "It's amusing you think you're the one leading the revolution."
Hey, somebody's got to do it, man.
Dren.
Well, let's see. I was running up to Thunuk. Corgi Ferret's still with me.
Yeah.
How
I
long
guess
does polymorph last?
An hour, so I've got time.
Okay.
We got time.
Yeah, I got time. I guess if I was to go, I feel like, okay, Thunuk, what? Asking Thunuk what?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yvonne is. Well, I got the communication of mom's trying to do shit, so I would just be like, huh?
Runs over. What?
Oh. Yeah, everyone is insisting that I'm the one who's confused, and no one recognizes me, and their eyes are bluish, weird. They think that if I do a thing, I'll feel better.
No, we're not doing that. I'm gonna do an Arcana check.
Okay.
That's a 24.
What is it you're trying to suss out?
I'm gonna look in Thunuk's eyes, and they're probably not glazed over blue.
They are not glazed over blue.
So I'm going to see what kind of magical bullshit is going on with his family.
It's as if they were immersed in a pool and left to soak and marinate in this pool for some time, so that it's like the magic has started to seep its way in. Whatever magic, you can tell that they are being affected by magic. I mean, blue eyes aside, that could just be cosmetic, right? You know, they could just go get the treatment, but that's different treatment. But that it's almost like this magic has seeped into them in some way, and you sense a cloud hanging over their minds. And the cloud it has a scent, a whiff of the Shadowfell upon it. So it's almost like some light has been cast out of their minds and replaced, and in this darkness, something else has filled it.
You said they were carrying food, right?
They were carrying food, yes.
What does Thunuk's mom have on her tray?
She had put the tray down, so it was sitting right up. It's on this table, and it was all like mushrooms and leeks and roots and grubs and just this kind of amalgamation of things that you'd be able to find underground.
Okay, I grab a leek and put it in my pocket. I'm gonna look at Thunuk's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Crap. So the one that was making barter with me, where is he? Is he back by Eno?
The one that was what?
The one that I was originally talking to.
Oh, the slender, the shamanistic. Yeah, that's over back by Eno, who's now. There was some conversation. You're not sure. The words kind of disappeared and got muffled the further away that you got from them. But you can tell there's about to be a throwdown of some kind. Whether it's a battle of wits or a battle of swords, you're not sure, but battle will be done.
I'm just getting a sense that shit's gonna happen, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And how many family members?
It's like that moment right before the bar brawl breaks out. Like you're aware of that tangible feeling as that thread is drawn taut, and it's just at the breaking point.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's like, listen, it's gonna take a miracle, because it's gonna happen. It's there.
How many of Thunuk's family members are there?
There is his mother, and there's 3 other Fearbolgs standing around him, 2 flanking on each side, 1 behind him. That's the one he backed up to. And Mom is starting to kind of move in a little bit, doing a little one of us type situation, moving in, kind of forcing him into the group a little bit.
Okay.
As only a mother can.
I'm gonna get on the walkie-talkie over to Eno and just kind of low. Is everything okay over there?
I mean, no, but yes.
No, but yes.
Yeah.
Are they our friends?
No. I kind of attacked him.
Hold on for a second. I attacked him.
Yeah.
Could you be patient for just a hot second, sir? Yeah, I started a fight. I need you to come pick me up.
Hang on a second. Get the bail money together and just we'll meet me at the police station.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Let's rock.
So basically, Eno started some shit.
Mm-hmm.
We've got me, Thunuk, and 3 of his family members over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where Hugon is.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a corgi ferret.
that about sums up the situation that we're in.
Okay, I'm gonna flatten myself on the ground.
Okay.
Ear to the floor. What do I hear?
Thunder in the distance.
Okay, here's what I think is about to happen. You're gonna cast Shatter on the ground to try to collapse the dining hall.
First of all, okay, let's do this first. Let's give me a perception check, and then we'll go from there to wherever the hell you're going.
18.
18. Okay. What is it that you're trying to find out?
I'm going to tap the ground while I have my ear to it and see how hollow the ground might be.
It's pretty thick. It's pretty
How
thick.
thick?
I feel like I'm walking into a trap here.
I'm a strong boy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're not hearing any kind of like hollow ringing. Like there's no hollow to it. If you really stretched it, you could hear the vibrations of the various very large creatures that are moving around. So you can get a sense of that there are giants and that they're moving around through the vibration in the floor, but you're not feeling like you'd figure that the floor is several feet thick minimally. Because it's got to support giant weight, several giants. You can tell this is meant to support like a lot of people, so you don't want to have substandard construction in this kind of situation.
Oh, that's fine.
I've seen what happens.
At least a meter of stone, essentially, is what we're getting at.
I'm going to say there's at least 2 to 3 meters of stone.
That's a lot of stone.
Yeah,
okay,
well, listen,
that's more than I thought.
But stone giants are big boys. They're big boys and girls.
Sure, they are large.
Yeah, they are of a large.
Okay, that's fine.
It is a load-bearing floor.
Stone to mud.
That's perfectly fine. I'm still gonna cast Shatter because the beautiful part of it is it has a 10-foot radius, which is 3 meters.
Okay.
Mm.
Um,
Uh-huh.
Some scientist somewhere is like, no.
If I could just
not!"
make sure, depending on how you want to cast this, are you casting this where before you
I'm
roll?
casting it under me.
Okay, because I was gonna say you do have Thunuk next to you who only has 12 hit points.
I know.
And Shatter would most assuredly
fine.
kill him.
We're fine. No,
Okay.
I'm casting it in the middle of the ground under me.
Okay.
But it's a sphere.
It is.
I'm in the sphere.
No. She's casting it.
No.
In the
I'm casting
floor.
it under the ground. I can cast it 60 feet away from me.
Oh.
Into the floor.
Mm.
I'm basically gonna cast thunder
My God.
under our feet.
How
And
many
hope
hit
it
points does
works.
Rock have?
I don't know.
What's this rock at?
I never thought I would have to ask that
It's
question.
like per foot of thickness. I don't actually.
Yeah.
know.
The beautiful part, though, of Shatter is if you are going to give hit points to the ground,
Mhm.
it has disadvantage because it's stone.
Well, of
It's
course.
true.
Hang on, let's do this. How many hit points does Rock have in Dungeons and Dragons?
25 hit points. According to ADD,
5 hit points. I win because I can cast
immune to
up
poison
to
and
like
psychic damage.
5d8.
Okay, so hang on, but it's just 25. It's more than 25, obviously, because it's like a lot of rock. So,
And it's a disadvantage if we're gonna give it.
well, it's
life.
not going to contest it. I mean, it's an AC. Don't have to worry about the AC because you're going to hit. I don't even know why. It's the floor, so it's an automatic hit.
Right.
Let's see how many points. Let's go. Okay, so 25 points of. God damn it. I shouldn't have to do this. Why are you making me do this? Okay, go ahead and do
Because-
You can
damage.
just tell her no if you don't like it.
No,
Because
I
would be
like it. That's
funny.
the problem. Is I like it. It's just
my character does bullshit, so.
it doesn't say you cannot cast Shatter in stone. So,
No, it certainly doesn't.
so
Okay, well then, hold on. I gotta do some math on how much damage I would do.
man, you give him 9th level and look what happens.
I mean, to be fair, Dren was always like this.
Mm-hmm.
9th level didn't change anything.
No, it just up to the percentage of how successful she might be.
Mm-hmm. So I could at my center do 32 points of damage, and then if you need me to do more, I will spend one of my spell points to do it again.
So I would say that the first. I'll give you the first. If I said it was about 20 feet thick, I'll give you the first
10 feet.
10 feet of
Mhm.
that, where it basically crumbles and shatters into a floor full of basically like detritus. Where it's just like where the so I will allow for that one spell, the first 10 feet will do to basically you'll hear like this resonance through the ground, high pitched, like muffled though because it's deep within the stone, and then the stone just sort of like crumbles in on itself and yeah, turns into very smaller pieces of itself. It's not it doesn't like disappear. It's not completely dusted. You do sink down a couple of inches from the way that the sphere of Shatter attacks the floor, but yeah, that's it. So if you wanted to do more damage, you would have to indeed spend a sorcery point.
Then
Is Shatter a
just,
saving throw?
Not for the floor.
I'm just
not-
asking.
Yeah.
Because I found the some of the rules.
Let's see. Shatter would have.
Some,
Rules.
not
I
all.
thought we were just making this up as we went along.
No, I'm curious to know
It's a
because
con save, which
It-
I would win.
yeah, it doesn't. I'm not gonna even bother. It's the floor. It's the.
It's the floor. It has because then if that's the case, then I will claim that it is organic, so it's gonna die.
Yeah.
okay. Rock organic. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's an inorganic material, it would have. So then I will. Let's see. How do I want to play this? No. That could have gone really mean. Well, that'll give everyone around me the difficult terrain,
Mhm.
and then it'll cause enough of the chaos to kind of give me a moment to wrangle up Thunuk and his family and try to think of a way to get out of there.
Okay.
So I'll message over to wait, can I perceive the ground?
Not this turn. You've already perceived the ground.
Okay.
Outside of like
Then
just
I'll-
outside of just like a normal like, okay, yeah, the ground is crumbled. You'd be able to see that, but not any no rolls because you already did a perception roll. You already
Okay.
stole a leak, and you already talked to or Thunuk and and now you've there's a lot that's happened here.
There is, but we weren't in true combat. It was just going in order. Then yeah, I'll just message over, don't die yet. And then I'll be
Good
good.
advice. Yeah, wild magic surge check, please.
Okay. 9.
All right, you're fine.
Fine.
Listen, there has to be consequences for,
Oh yeah.
for
Oh yeah.
the bullshit.
It's gonna get so much worse.
So, I'm going to say for this round, because there is it would usually be the stone giant's turn at this point, that they are holding action. Because they see something going on there. They could pick up something is happening there, but you haven't actually lashed out and struck him. So any damage that's been done has been purely psychic damage, so they wouldn't know that. So they're holding action, but it is the shaman's turn. And I think what's going to happen at this stage is he is just going to try to reach out and touch you. And I'll make it in the face with a club. No, he's gonna try to reach out and just and lay a hand on you. But so we can either treat this with armor class as him trying to do it that way, because he's not trying to swing, he's just trying to reach out and do that, or we can try to make it a contested dexterity situation. I think in this case, because he's not striking, it would be contested dexterity. He's trying to reach out, and I would assume, try to get out of the way. But if you don't want to get out of the way, that is your turn as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say if he's, because we've been at a distance, if he's coming towards me,
yeah. Well, he's got to reach on him.
Okay.
He's got
to. I'm gonna say maybe acrobatics then.
Okay. So I will allow you to do an acrobatics roll
to evade that.
To evade this, where he's going to try to just try to give you a boop.
He's going to try and touch me.
Oof.
Don't touch me.
But
oh, hey. That is a 23.
So as he reaches out, you're able to deftly move out of the way. Like, you didn't even have to do like a flip. Like, it wasn't even like you had to make like, if you wanted to add a little something extra into it, you could, but this was more like a nope.
I'm over here now.
Yeah, I don't think I do a flourish with that. I think I kind of take a step back.
More like a dance move, right? Like,
yeah,
kind of
like juked him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, no, that's not how this is gonna go.
You assume that we play by the same rules.
I don't care what rules you play by, but you're gonna lose anyway.
And he reaches out one more time to try for a boop. So you'd want to you can do another acrobatic.
Stop trying to touch me. I don't like you, and I don't know you.
All right, that's an 18.
Okay, you're fine.
Didn't you ever hear personal space?
So, for the record, the object rules are really vague in this edition.
because they never accounted on this. Oh,
I
what if-
found-
what
You
if they
think
wanna-
I play for the blind spots in this game?
I know
Yeah.
exactly how you play. But page 246, 247 does have a handy list of guidelines, like
I'm
the
gonna
AC,
be
various
talking to
objects,
Crawford later today. Anyway,
health for various objects, damage threshold, immunities, things like that.
so now the Fearbolg the Fearbolg at this point are going to attempt to take hold of you, Thunuk. They're going to attempt to they're going to try to grab you, not necessarily like in a rough you up kind of way, but it is going to be a contested grapple unless you're not going to contest. They are attempting to grapple you. You've got 3 of them that are attempting to grapple you at this point.
I will not contest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Interesting.
Makes sense.
So the 2 at your sides gently take you. They do the if you've ever seen when they try to control, when nurses are trying to control a potentially combative patient, where they grab like high up on the arm and they grab at the wrist
Mm-hmm.
and start to so there's the 2 at your sides. They both do that. They both grab you by the wrist and like up by the bicep, and they they got a grip, and they start to turn to walk you away. The 3rd one is behind you. He lays a hand gently on your back to help guide you, and they start to walk you towards one of the staircases.
Okay.
And your mother says, "It's for the best. You'll completely understand. You'll completely understand. You'll understand everything we've been working for."
I don't. This doesn't make any sense. You don't even know who I am, but that is the bad
It doesn't
thing.
make sense because you haven't had your treatment. It'll make sense after you have your treatment.
But it would make sense if you understood who I was. You don't. But I don't get this.
I know. That's why you need a treatment.
I don't think this is a good idea. This just seems bad.
It is your turn at this point.
Okay. I think he's gonna continue talking to his mom and everyone. I was like, why are you guys not recognizing me? Why are you doing this? And then this makes any sense.
It doesn't make sense because you haven't had the treatment. It'll make sense after. You understand? You keep asking the same question, and we're going to fix this for you.
While she's doing that, he's talking over her, and they're both talking over each other, I imagine. But he's getting frustrated, and as she's basically just reiterates it, he's like, "Why won't you just wake up?" And he says, "Wake up."
Oh.
And I cast command.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. So, how do we adjudicate this?
Is 4 of them?
Are you able to cast it on? There's 3 Fearbolg and your mother.
All right. At 4th level, I can cast it on 4 people.
Oh shit.
An extra person per level, if I'm reading this right.
Okay.
You speak one word command to. Wake up is hyphenated. Can we argue that?
I
Make it a word.
Awaken also work.
Yeah.
For the sake of the narrative, I will allow for wake up. It's a
Okay.
simple enough command that it's not like kill him, right? That's a little bit too more complex. This is I will allow this, and if necessary, we will call it a hyphenate.
At higher levels, you cast a spell. You speak one word command to a creature. Okay, so higher levels, it's 1 person extra per level.
Okay. So
So
you're casting
4th
at
level,
4th level.
command.
So 3 extra people. So you're going to try to command all 3 of the Fearbolg, your mother.
All
and
4 of them.
all
Yeah,
4 of them.
including Thunuk's mother.
And what is the save they need to make?
Wisdom 16.
Wisdom 16. Okay. Here is for Fearbolg number 1. Okay. Fearbolg number 2.
And may I argue that they are under a geese of sorts, therefore they might be in favor of waking up.
Okay.
Interesting.
Maybe they would get this at advantage, or just get this. The spell itself will have disadvantage.
Okay.
If that's making sense.
I understand what you're saying. Okay. And you say you use your command. And you feel the hand on your back from that Fearbolg drops off. And the 2 Fearbolg that were holding your arms, they stop leading you. And you can see there's a moment of like that moment between dream and awake. As they're like that, there's that blink. And you can see that the blue sheen, the blue aura that was over their eyes, the blue film is gone. It drains. It just sort of like almost like water draining out of a jar with a hole in the bottom. It just drains out. And you can see their eyes almost come into focus. Like for the first time in many, many years. And the one looks at you and he says, "Cousin?"
Yes, it's me.
"What? Where have you been?"
Everyone left me behind. Why? What's this treatment you're trying to make me do?
And your mother behind you says, "It looks like all of you need your treatments." And you look and you see that the sheen is still over her eyes. That the command did not awaken her. And she says, "I'll fix this for all of you." We'll come back to that because now it is Hugon's turn. So Hugon, Kronk is leading you. Kronk is leading you through the tunnels. He's led you, through, and you can see there's a certain point where it stops becoming dwarven and it became of a different architecture. The architecture is much grander in scale.
Okay.
Meant to fit larger, and you see it is proportional.
Okay.
So, and it very nice to look at as you're walking by. Not taking a lot of it in, just okay, great. But he leads you up. It almost looks like it's a staircase. Well, everything has been carved out of stone. This is more like roughly hewn out of stone.
Okay.
Not done in a purposeful manner.
All right.
Right. And they and he leads you up this kind of like hidden staircase that if you didn't know to look for it, you probably wouldn't see it. A giant definitely would not see this. You almost have to like duck to go into there. Okay. And it's a very low staircase. If you've ever been in Revolutionary War era homes, everything's very small. Steps are very big, and you're kind of ducking everywhere. It's like that as you're going up, and you end up coming up through the this entrance. Kind of. It's like, again, it's kind of tucked behind a boulder, and as you make your way around, you're able to see this grand hallway that everyone is in.
Okay.
And you see Eno standing off, and it almost looks like he and this slender giant are almost locked in a battle of wills, just the way their eyes are locked onto each other. And you could see Drenmai is over on the other side, and the ground around her in almost a perfect circle. Looks like it's been crumbled in some way. Directly beneath here, you see Thunuk and 3 Fearbolg with him, and then you see another one, a female Fearbolg, standing in front of them. But that's about all you're able to take in with it. And you do see there are 2 other stone giants that are standing right by Eno that haven't done anything yet. You see there's other stone giants that are right at the table where Thunuk is. they haven't really reacted to much of anything yet. But and you can see that there's other folks around, other giant creatures about.
Okay. So now, what Hugon would like to see now is obviously he sees the hall, right?
He does see the hall. Yeah.
Now, is this when you say hall? Like, are we talking like vaulted ceilings, or is this?
It is like a giant. It is a giant cylinder.
Okay. So
Carved
that means
in
that
there,
there are.
and it goes up and up and up, and you can see these
Right.
carved staircases, giant-sized staircases, to go. Well, there's like so you see like there's like each staircase is carved into the wall, and in the middle are large giant steps.
Okay.
For a
So-
giant, and then on the side of either side, there's like human or I'm gonna say like medium-sized creature steps because the servants need to get
Right.
places.
On either, so looking into this hall, there would be like galleries and like platforms and walkways and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. We are going to, as quickly as possible, start getting up in levels,
Mm-hmm.
like above this main hall, this ground floor.
Mm-hmm.
That is my goal here, and to do it very, very quickly and without hopefully being seen because of all the people paying attention in the center.
Okay, that would be a stealth check.
Okay. Since we are not being, rather, since the attention of the people who would be looking for us are on something else, may I have advantage?
I will grant you advantage because not only that, but it's also the sound as you entered this area. As soon as you
It
entered
had
the
this
giant
weird
area,
muting.
this muted, muffled effect.
Okay, so that's a 17 on stealth.
Okay, you are able to. That I would call that success. A success.
And he'll whisper to Croc. He's like, "All right, what we're trying to do here is we're gonna let my team distract the giants down here.
Mhm.
We're going to go up to the shrine, hopefully destroy the shrine, and then I have a plan."
It looks like we better move quickly then.
Yes. So let's go.
Right. So your turn would just be getting up to the next floor.
As quickly as either the next floor or as many floors as we can get in one turn.
Just taking the steps.
Mhm.
I will allow for the sake of rather than it taking 6 turns for you to climb up. I will allow you a floor being able to move quickly up the servant staircase to the next floor. Because these aren't like cloud giants, which are
right
enormous.
So how
Those
many how many floors up would Croc say the?
He says you would need to do. I think it would be one more floor up
To get to the shrine.
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So okay, so you do your little sneak. Look at
We do a sneak.
Hugon being sneaky. Yes, sneaky Hugon. Eno. It is the Eno's turn.
I am going to I'm going to point to him and I'm going to say, haven't you ever heard of personal space? Oh, I suppose not, since you're so impersonal and you take up so much space.
Oh my god.
And I'm going to try Vicious Mockery again. He needs to do a 16 Wisdom saving throw.
Okay, 16.
Yeah, DC 16.
Okay, let's see what happens here. Wisdom saving throw. Okay. Oh, yes, he is fine.
Damn it.
Yeah,
right.
Then I roll fine. Yeah, he it's basically like
Okay.
he doesn't even respond to that. It's kind of like whatever. I've heard that.
It didn't land.
Actually, no. I know what it does. It goes, really? That's what you go after? That's the joke?
Oh, it's no joke.
I know.
Well,
Clearly.
your feet are big. Whoa, too far.
I almost feel like it
Dude.
should reflect back on you, but it's not going to. It's like, I know, because it wasn't funny. I thought you were supposed to be a bard. Any movement that you want to do this turn? Any other things you want to minor actions or bonus actions?
Yeah. So how close is he to me right now? Is he like right up on?
At this point, yeah, he's right up ons.
All right.
He's all up ons.
I don't want to back directly away, but I want to kind of like move 10. I want to give myself 10 feet so that I can react like I have some space.
Okay.
Some dueling space, right?
Okay. So you're all right, and you're still within his reach, so it wouldn't be an attack of opportunity because you haven't like left his reach.
Okay.
So you'd be fine. Okay. Dren.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Shatter again, same spot. I want to shatter this goddamn floor. Fuck everyone.
Did you cast the sorcery point last time, or no? You didn't last time, correct?
No, because it was
right.
too. Yeah.
It's too expensive.
Yeah.
Not a good value.
Because wait, how far did Thunuk go for me?
He's out of the 10-foot sphere right now that you created.
So, are you gonna cast it on yourself? Because you're standing on top of it.
I know.
Oh.
I wanted to try and get away from these people, and I'm trying to create enough of a diversion.
Now the question is, would Dren have noticed the change in the other Fearbolg? So I think that would first. Let's give you a perception check, and maybe that'll inform Dren's decision-making process. Maybe it won't.
It's not good. Again, wisdom. That's a 1.
Yeah. For all you have not noticed. You're focused on this plan. You have a plan, and God's damn it, you're gonna see it through. You do not notice the fact that Thunuk was able to command 3 of them to awaken from whatever this slumber was.
But I am concerned about Eno. Because he's over with Big Boy. And if I look... Okay.
But he's not
take
yet
that
dead.
back.
He's not
So
yet
I
dead.
look around and nobody's around me currently.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look around, see if I can... Besides the place we came in, is there what I would consider an exit?
I mean, you can see like the main thoroughfare that you guys came in. There are other exits to other areas of their compound, like tunnels leading off of this main cylinder on almost all the floors. It looks like from what you can see. So yeah, it's not like there's the cylinder and that's it. It's cylinder and there's like these archways leading deeper into their compound. This is just sort of like the main area.
But Thunuk and his family are at least far enough away from any potential dangers that I see.
If you were to completely destroy the floor, they would not fall through at this point. And they're not near the one big boy, but there are still 2 giants sitting at the table where Thunuk's mother was bringing the food, and they are looking at you right now because you just, shattered the floor.
Well, if they're at a table near me, I might just, do the floor thing anyways and watch them fall and laugh.
But you're good. You'll fall too.
Patience. Okay, fine. Well, so then, do I need to do another perception to see if they're looking at me with malintent?
That would be more insight. You are aware they're looking
Insight?
at you, so that'd be an insight to see if.
Okay, 22 math.
Yeah, it's not like on a scale of 1 to 10 of ill intent. They're
doing like a this.
they're starting to rev up. It's a 7 or an 8.
You're shattering their furniture.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
just-
they're kind of like, hey, come on, quit
It's a
that.
7 or 8. There's going to be some things that are going to happen here. And
I'm shattering the floor because I don't feel like dealing with 2 of them at the same time. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing. Cast shatter on the floor.
okay, let's see
this
the damage.
Plan. I don't understand. I'm very worried.
I have a concern.
I do have a concern.
I'm not sure we thought about all the consequences and repercussions.
Okay, quick math. 29.
Again, so the floor beneath you crumbles even when you hear the shit. This time you're able to hear the shatter a little bit more. It's still muffled because of whatever is going on in this space. And you can only assume that it was successful because the floor sinks even more now. Now you're down like a foot or two, but there's still like that last. There's still that last layer underneath it.
I don't know then. Because I'm shattering the equivalent of 20 feet of floor at this point.
Mm-hmm. It was
That's
load bearing.
6 meters.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I mean, it could be that the floor is reinforced, not necessarily that it's thick, because after a certain point, the thickness of the floor would cause its own structural instability. So it's not necessarily probably that it's like 40 feet thick. It's probably like, 3 meters, like Brian said initially, but purpose built to do the opposite of shatter. to not break.
To hold up, as it were.
to not fall.
To bear weight.
Also, dwarves be making some crazy stonework. I mean, you know how it is.
That's fine. Then I'm gonna. So you said there's a bunch of various foods around, correct?
There are.
Is there soup?
Animate the soup.
Or broth? Then I'm going to cantrip the shit out of this, and just to give myself a little bit of things. So I'm gonna take my movement and I'm gonna go towards Eno, and then on the point, if the ground is crackling visibly, I want to shape water, and I am going to then move
well,
that.
you already did the shatter spell. Oh, this is a cantrip, though.
Point. It's a cantrip.
Okay, never mind. You're right. I'm sorry. So how many
can-
spells are you going to cast this turn?
I have 9 fucking sorcery points. If I want to, I could play this bullshit. Which I'm almost tempted to do. Let's see. I'll spend this point just so I can get this extra bit, even though it's a cantrip. I still need to spend my points. So I'm gonna shape the water, and I'm gonna move the water so that way it goes into the cracks and then it gets frozen. But not like to complete points of frozen. It's like that weird slushiness. And then I'm going.
You're trying to
spend
pothole this, is what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, and I'm past the point now. I took my movement, and I'm going to put my hand on the ground, and I will do Shocking Grasp to electrify the water in the ground.
So, and this is another sorcery point you're spending, I'm guessing?
Yeah, but it's still a cantrip, but I'll spend this sorcery
Shocking
point.
Grasp is a cantrip?
Shocking Grasp is a cantrip.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Because it's lightning damage, so I'm going to electrify the water.
Okay, and
It was 7 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
And if anything that is touching it is wearing any metal or armor, then I have advantage on attack against him.
God. So Dren does all of this, and you
I'm getting pissed off at the ground at this point.
You feel a crack. Everyone that's in the room here, which is everyone, you feel this deep snapping sensation of something shifting seismically, as if there was a great tension and then that tension was suddenly released. And the 2 giants that were at the table are standing up and going to move towards you, Dren. And as they do so, they step into this little area here, and the whole thing just collapses as they go through, and the floor just goes underneath them, and they fall down to the floor beneath.
A wave.
And then you start to see the cracks spreading out from this hole throughout the entire room.
Which is enormous, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And the entire room starts to shake.
This is bad.
This is good.
Because you're on that floor.
And in that moment, I need you, Thunuk, to give me a hang on. I'll tell you in a second. I'm gonna tell you in a second as soon as I learn how to spell.
Awesome.
No, no. This is the opposite of good. Nothing about this is good.
Hey, chaos character. For me, this is amazing.
This is
I need you
this
to
is
make.
suicidally dumb.
I need you. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I think. Yes, wisdom saving throw. Okay.
Where did that go? 25.
Okay.
Nice.
So you see your mother reach out with both hands, and she makes this grasping motion, and you feel like this magic wave wash over you, and you feel like this constriction, but you're able to kind of like shrug it off. But your cousins are suddenly held still. They suddenly stiffen up like they've been grasped by some kind of arcane, invisible hands. And she just looks at you and she says, "It's time for all of you to get your treatment. And we're going now."
Thunuk, I'm not trying to tell you how to act around your family, but you might need to kick your mom's ass.
And that is where we're going to end today's game.
That was awesome.
I can't wait. Chaos.
Like, it's not chaos, though.
Oh,
It's like, I'm going to destroy the floor I'm standing on. Ah! Like,
That Dren does have a plan.
I would love to see this, like, on a whiteboard. Love to see
Yes,
the
I do.
nature of this goddamn
Once
plan.
we get through, after we play the next game, we'll whiteboard this whole situation. Here, so
What's that one conspiracy meme from Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he's like,
Pepe Silva.
yeah.
so that is where we are going to leave things on this particular Sunday. On
I have to
Soup
make a note to
Bowl.
myself.
I'm gonna go have some soup in a bowl for Soup Bowl Sunday. No, Soup Bowl. It's fine.
Superb owl.
Yeah, all these things are perfectly fine. I can't say the other thing. You could say super, and in another sentence you could say bowl, and you're fine.
Are we not allowed to say those things?
No,
No,
it's
those
trademarked.
are all extremely trademarked, and like they will fuck with you.
Yeah, trademark. But you can
Wow.
say soup
No.
bowl.
No, you can't.
You can.
Stop.
But are we doing table talk? Yes?
Yes.
Abbreviated? Yes. Okay.
Sure.
We're gonna come back and do
Abbreviated.
table talk in just a moment. So please stay tuned. So here we go, back with table talk. We're going to cease and desist all of the other activities we were talking about before because of terms of service violations and all that. So we actually invite the NFL to please send us a cease and desist.
No. We really don't. We really don't.
So
Don't do that.
starting today will be quadrant number 2, which is none other than the blind cleric, who is being blinded by the sunlight.
No, it's not too bad. It's
of the
really
beautiful day in
pleasant.
Colorado.
It's really pleasant today in Colorado. I'm very pleased.
Because it is not always sunny in Colorado.
No, it is not. Especially not in February.
So, either moments of note or employees of note for today's game.
The sort of like semi-unsuccessful diss battle happening between Eno and the shaman giant is pretty amazing. It's like neither one of them can land the perfect diss, and they're just trying to go back and forth. Like, I'm picturing them with like mics in their hands, all up in each other's faces and stuff.
It's like the last scene of 8 Mile, but not nearly as cool.
It's pretty cool. There's actual magic happening.
Yes. Okay. The diss battle.
This battle is strong.
Moving in an anti-clockwise motion, that would then put us up into the Yvonne. And if he ever shaves it, then we know he's evil Yvonne.
I haven't been clean shaven like.
He's like the opposite of like Mirror Universe,
20 years? I haven't been clean shaven in 20 years. That'd be weird. Anyway, my favorite thing.
You should totally do it then.
I'll probably get a sunburn almost immediately. Roz breaking out that little ditty there for I forget the spell you were casting. The anti-charm spell.
Counter charm.
Counter charm. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anti-charm. I like it. Yes, the songs are always top notch RPG gold. Clues.
I'm gonna have to say Thunuk dealing with his family. I really like he wants to trust him and he wants to you haven't seen him in forever, and then it's like, yay, mom, and then she's like, who the fuck are you? And you're like, oh, our
new mom, who dis?
Yeah, and it's you my mom. What's the deal here? So yeah, having our poor like capybara boy go through some like familial crisis, I felt bad. I was like, oh, my poor, I felt bad.
Poor guy. Wait,
guy.
did I feel bad? Yeah, I feel bad.
Luz felt bad. Dren
I feel
probably was like, oh, here we go again. But yeah,
turns into something else.
Mm-hmm.
Not Eno, Roz.
Yeah, same thing, right? I like in general how the first episode of the season we were all kind of doing our own thing, and then it sort of worked out. We got the information about the place.
Yeah,
we're in here. We're all just sort of doing our own thing. We each have our thing that we're doing. Nobody discussed it. Nobody were like, I'm going to go do this. We didn't have to take an hour trying to figure out what we were going to do, but it just sort of happens that this is what we should be doing. Like, we're just doing what we do, but it's what we should be doing.
We're filling our spaces.
Yeah, Thunuk is dealing with his family. I'm taunting the boss. Dreadmai is trying to blow the entire place up, and Hugon has a cunning plan that we just happen to be following without even knowing what his plan is. But
because he knows what you all are going to do. So he can make a plan around that.
But individually, I'd have to say employee of the day would definitely be Dreadmai with her shatters and the sorcery point bullshit.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing
sorcery
it.
bullshit.
Sorcery point bullshit.
Yeah.
Magical bullshit. You're gonna give me 9 sorcery points. I'm gonna spend the shit out of them.
I didn't give you shit. That's what the books
well,
gave
no.
you.
D&D gave me 9.
Wizards of the Coast. Chris Perkins gave you 9, and Jeremy Crawford.
And I technically get all of those back after a long rest. It's great.
We have to have a very serious conversation with Jeremy and Chris. And while we're at it, we're just gonna pull Kate and Tristan into the conversation because, damn it, you people need to This is what you look what you've done.
Look what you've
Look what
done.
you've done. This is your fault.
Oh, and I'm super excited for like next week because I have a plan. Not everyone will die.
Oh, good.
Amazing.
So
I'm so excited. God damn it.
I didn't write down the time codes on this because I want to pull the clips for this week. I think Hugon meeting Hugo's family, or Hugon meeting
Thunuk's
Hugon
family,
meeting Thunuk's family,
and then them knowing about Hugon's family. Like, how the fuck do you know about me?
Yeah, there's some fun there. Well, I think there's a lot for us to mine in.
I don't like that.
I think what's interesting is with everyone, there's a lot of familial relationships for us to mine story-wise that are going to be fun. So
I'm going to interrogate the absolute hell out of this halfling. How the hell do you know my family?
The buffling. I do like the fact that it's now
It's the buffling.
Buffling. Because he is swole. He's
he big.
He picked things up and puts them down.
Oh, I will be happy that I have a corgi-sized ferret friend right now.
We haven't even gotten to that part.
We'll be happy about it.
Eno and Alexi leaving the shelter. Which dawns on me that I just completely forgot that Alexi was there. Maybe he's not. I don't know. Maybe we have to figure out what he is.
Maybe he
he's
wandered
there.
off into the woods.
I don't know. I assumed that he was there and that he wasn't doing anything because he saw that what I was doing was working, and
that's what it's going to be from now on. That is now canon. That's exactly why he didn't do anything. It has nothing to do with that I forgot about him. It's that
because we've known each other for a really long time, and I think he knows when I'm really in trouble, and I'm not really in trouble yet, but I'm sort of almost really in trouble, and he's kind of like
he knows when to wait it out because it's like usually this will end up in your favor, but
just in case he's gonna back me up.
I have the song, obviously, very choice. I'm so glad you shared that with us. That was fantastic. The little moment where you're all telling Thunuk to drop it, I thought that was great. Put it, spit it out, drop it. That's always fun. Dissonant Whispers. That was.
We need to change the name of that to Dissing Whispers.
Dissing Whispers, yeah.
It should be.
That's what it is. That's for Eno. It is now Dissing Whispers. But it is. I like that. I want to grab that sound bite, but I want to add reverb and echo and have it be like. I actually want to make the sound bite for what that would sound like in their head. I think that would sound just badass. The fact that I had to look up freaking Rock's hit points.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that was funny. And then when we got there, nothing. Figure it out, the rules say.
Yeah, exactly.
I may have played this game for a long time, and I will always go for the blind spot.
You power gaming piece of shit.
No, but that's the fun of.
I'm kidding.
That's the fun of the game. I mean, listen, it says right away in the beginning of all of the just about all the books that they're guidelines, right? And you have all these people that get into rules lawyer arguments with Crawford, the rules designer, and he says what the rule is.
Which is funny.
And then he says, but it's a guideline.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't like it,
always defer to the DM.
It's also true.
Always defer to the DM, but it's a guideline. And if the rule says this, yeah, but we're not. The rule doesn't say
the rules are bullshit.
Well, listen, the rules should never get in the way of having fun.
Like the rule that says drow are evil. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
No.
They're indoctrinated.
No, they're not. I say no.
No. I say nay.
I say your rule is stupid.
No. You have to make them evil. No, shan't.
Fie upon you and your rule.
Just like when we were going to do that one game. You and I were brother and sister, and technically we should have hated each other.
And we kind of did, but we chose that's stupid.
We'll fudge it a little, and we'll be twins that somehow made hating each other work.
Which, also sibling stuff. That's a thing that works.
Yeah.
Oh, the vicious mockery. I was trying to read my own handwriting here. The vicious mockery again. Excellent role play. So I would say for as far as on the fly role play, it would have to be a tie between Eno and Dren for just on the fly doing just pulling some stuff
doing their stuff.
doing what they do. But I to your point, Roz, I think it is interesting. This is what happens when you have a group that plays together for however long. I mean, we had, dear Lord, 29 episodes of we had almost 90 hours of content last year in 2019.
Wow.
So yeah, you guys now know, you all know how, like, we know what Hugon would do. We know it. So you're able to sort of, and it's
I was about to say, Hugon knows exactly, like, he knew the spell that I was going for before I said it.
As soon as you're like, I lay down on the floor, how thick is it? And I was like, she's going to fucking shatter.
But on top of that, it's not even, I don't even consider it like metagaming, because it's not like, well, wait a minute, I know. It's like, no, it makes sense in the context of the game, in the context of the story, that, yeah, everyone would have a vague idea of how everyone would react. You know, Thunuk is going to go run to see his family, and he's already going to try to make friends with everyone. You know that Eno is going to talk his way out of just about everything, whether it's talking and getting away with it, or talking and, oh, by the way, my words have power. My words are magic.
This would have gone a lot differently if Thunuk would have made his saving throw outside. Because I was playing that song, and I'm like, if he makes a saving throw, I'm attacking this dude. Like, he makes a saving throw, and he missed it twice, and I'm like, guess I'm not attacking this dude then.
I'll just say this.
Guess we're having this party indoors.
As a way to wrap up for today, I was absolutely shocked and surprised that, okay, last week, battle happens, all right, that's just sort of reaction. But this week, it's like, you guys, you chose battle. And I was like, all right, I guess we're going to fight these
I gotta
giants,
say,
now.
I'm incredibly excited to see what happens next week, because I assume that there's going to be a lot of structural damage.
I hope so.
Like, I'm really, I'm trying to figure out how everybody lives.
I don't know you're upstairs either, so.
I think I might.
No,
have to
you
make a
don't.
map for next week. I think even for
well,
my own
because
sanity.
like the size of the room.
Mm-hmm.
If the floor of the entire room collapses in sequence, like from that sort of jackhammer shatter point, that's thousands of tons of stone landing on the floor below it, which will likely not support it. And then that floor will collapse, and then the floor beneath it will collapse, and then you will have an avalanche of stone giant slaves, and us. Or three of us.
I'll just go ahead and roll up another character just in case.
I'm curious to see what will happen.
Alrighty.
I'm excited, but I'm very curious.
Okie dokie. We'll see. All right. So we will be back next week with a new game of Team Xenagogue, Team X. Is Late to the Game happening this week?
It should, yes.
Okay. So we will.
It didn't happen last week because of some issues with my internet connection.
Right.
Yeah.
We will be back. Well, there'll be more stuff happening next week. So we will see you guys next week. Same bad channel, same bad time. Everybody have an absolutely fantastic week. Be cool to each other. Don't be dicks. And yeah, so we'll see you later. So,
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, also eat more ice cream.
Eat your greens.
Eat your ice cream.